Graduation ceremony, the campus beauty kneels to beg me to marry her? Today is a memorable day for senior students. The principal stood on the stage and gave an impassioned speech. The students sat in the audience, looking drowsy. Until the host came on stage, everyone was awakened from their slumber. The principal's speech is over. Next, we invite student representative Sumushue to speak on stage. Par par par. Warm applause rang out in the auditorium. Under the hot gazes of many male students, Sumushue, wearing a bachelor's gown, walked slowly to the stage with two slender white legs. She smiled and had a gentle look, giving people a feeling of spring breeze. As Sumushue came on stage, the students below also started to talk. School beauty Sue is so beautiful. She looks so good in a bachelor's gown. The school beauty is worthy of being the school beauty. Of course, school beauty Sue is my goddess. I heard that Sumushue seems to be still single. Sumushue took the microphone and glanced at the students in the audience. Then, she took out a small notebook and wrote down all the speeches for today. Hello everyone, I am Sumushue. I am honored to be selected as a student representative to speak on behalf of the students. 4 years of college are gone in a flash. I think for the students present, these 4 years are precious memory, and I hope this memory can be engraved in everyone's heart forever. At the end, Sumushue paused. She put away the notebook, a shy expression appeared on her face, and said to the audience, "At this memorable moment, I want to say something to a certain student present." As soon as these words came out, the students present suddenly became restless. They looked at each other, wondering what Sumushue wanted to say. Just when they were confused, Sumushue raised her head and looked at the man sitting at the back of the crowd. He was wearing a white shirt and had a bright smile on his face. Those dark and deep eyes seemed to be able to speak, and he was also looking at Sumushue. His name is Lin Feng. It has been 4 years since he came to this world. From the freshman enrollment to the current senior graduation, the dog system has been reluctant to activate. So he can only grow in a wretched way, and he is still an unknown person. Except for being handsome, he has nothing. At this time, he was also a little curious. What did Sumushue want to say? Just then, Sumushue raised the microphone and said with courage, "Lin Feng, in fact, I have liked you for a long time. Can I marry you?" As soon as their voice fell, their whole audience was silent. Sumushue's confession was like a stone breaking the sky, shaking the whole auditorium buzzing. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Sumushue actually confessed to Lin Feng in public? And not only confessed, but also proposed to him on the spot. Lin Feng was stunned when he heard this, his mind was blank. He didn't expect that Sumushue would actually propose to him. Oh my god, did I hear it wrong just now? The school beauty actually confessed in public. You didn't hear it wrong, so school beauty not only confessed, but also proposed to him on the spot. What is the origin of this Lin Feng, and how could he capture the heart of school beauty? Damn it, I want to fight him to the death. My dream goddess, how could you do this? I must be dreaming, this can't be true. The auditorium was in chaos, with countless students indignant. The faces of the male students who had a crush on Sumushue were full of hostility. They wanted to find Lin Feng and eat him alive. The few who knew Lin Feng focused their attention on him. Lin Feng himself was also confused. Before Sumushue spoke, he had never thought that he would have such a good fortune. He was not familiar with Sumushue. The words he had said to her did not exceed 10 sentences in total. But at this moment, she actually proposed to him in public at the graduation ceremony. What's going on? But now, this is not the point. All the students in the auditorium followed Sumushue's line of sight and focused on him. If he could be confessed to by the school beauty in private, it would be fine. After all, Lin Feng has admired Sumushue for a long time. Not only is she beautiful, but she also has a great figure. The most important thing is that it is said that Sumushue has never had a boyfriend in 4 years of college. That means she may still be a virgin. But now, at this sacred and solemn graduation ceremony, seeing the murderous eyes of the principal and the envious and jealous eyes of his classmates, Lin Feng was a little at a loss. What to do? Should I agree? Or refuse? In just a few seconds, countless thoughts flashed through Lin Feng's mind. At this time, Sumushue stood on the stage, looking at Lin Feng with burning eyes, and she was also very nervous. Because she was not sure whether Lin Feng would agree to her. In the eyes of others, she was the school belle, an unattainable existence. But only she knew that in front of Lin Feng, she was nothing. From the day she went to college, she liked Lin Feng, but she never had the courage to confess to him. Seeing that she was about to graduate from college, if she didn't take the initiative, there would be no chance in the future. This chapter is not over, please click on the next page to continue reading. Thinking of this, her heart started pounding. Lin Feng was sitting in the audience, and was in a dilemma for a while. Ding! Host's emotional fluctuations detected, model husband system activated. Option 1, agree to Sumushue's proposal, get a marriage certificate with her, and enter the marriage hall. Reward, 10 million in cash. Option 2, reject Sumushue in public, the system will be in standby mode, waiting for the next activation. Reward, steal straight man title. Hearing the voice of the system, Lin Feng's whole body was shocked. Damn, for whole years. Do you know how I spent these 4 years? I'm about to graduate from college, and you, the dog system, just appeared. After traveling to this world, Lin Feng has been doing nothing for 4 whole years, waiting for the system to appear. He once thought that he was unlucky. As the chosen son of heaven, he traveled to a parallel world and didn't even have a system. Unexpectedly, Sumushue proposed to him today. The system was actually shocked. I choose one. Lin Feng made a decision without thinking when he saw the system options. For the 10 million cash, Lin Feng would consider marrying a school beauty, even if it was marrying a sow. That's a school beauty. When are we going to get the certificate? Lin Feng looked at Sumushue on the stage and said with great excitement. How about now? Sumushue was stunned at first, then said with a red face. Seeing this scene, all the students present were stunned. What a joke. Go get the certificate now. Sitting next to Lin Feng, his roommates in the same dormitory. Everyone opened their mouths, and the expressions on their faces were also very incredible. Fuck, is this true? Fengzi, you're actually going to get a marriage certificate with Su Xiaohua. Are you kidding me? You turned the graduation ceremony into an engagement ceremony. This isn't how TV dramas are played out. And those male classmates who had a crush on Sumushue or had pursued her were immediately upset. Su Xiaohua is getting married? This is outrageous. I'm going to die. Chapter 2 10 million has arrived. Chapter 2 10 million has arrived. Civil Affairs Bureau. Lin Feng came out holding Sumushue's hand. Each of them held a red book. From now on, he is Sumushue's legal husband. At this moment, the system's voice also sounded. Ding! Congratulations to their host, completing the option 1 task. 10 million cash has arrived, please check it. After hearing the system's voice, Lin Feng took out his mobile phone and took a look. Sure enough, he received a transfer message, showing that 10 million had been received. Seeing this, Lin Feng was extremely excited. After traveling through 4 years, the system finally came, and he also had a school beauty wife. This feeling is wonderful. Lin Feng, what are you daydreaming about? Sumushue asked puzzledly, are you regretting marrying me? How could it be? Lin Feng looked at Sumushue in front of him and joked. But, we have already got the marriage certificate, shouldn't you change your words? Call me husband. After saying that, Lin Feng leaned his head towards Sumushue. R. Hearing this, Sumushue's pretty face instantly turned red. But she recovered quickly. Hubby. Yeah, so good. Lin Feng nodded with satisfaction. Binhai University. The school beauty Sumushue proposed to Lin Feng. It soon caused a sensation in the school. Not only that, even several surrounding universities spread the news. Many people took videos and sent them to Douyin and Weibo, as well as the Binhai University Chiabar. The popularity instantly soared, topping the top 10 hot search list. You know, Sumushue is one of the most beautiful school beauties in the entire Binhai city. She is a goddess in the eyes of students and the object of many boys' dreams. In 4 years of college, countless rich second generations wanted to pursue her, but she rejected them all. She has always been aloof, but now she actually proposed to Lin Feng. This is simply enviable. After getting the marriage certificate, Lin Feng took Sumushue back to the dormitory to pack up. Just then, several roommates in the dormitory also came back from the auditorium. Seeing Lin Feng and Sumushue, several roommates were shocked at first, then calmed down and surrounded them to say, Fengzi, have you got the marriage certificate? Yes, just got it. Lin Feng said with a smile, we are now a legal couple. Sumushue was a little embarrassed when she heard the word couple. The roommates were shocked. Fuck, you are worthy of being Fengzi. Others are trying their best to think about how to pick up the school bell. You are so good, you were picked up by the school bell. It seems that the old saying is really confirmed. Being handsome means you can do whatever you want, it's not false at all. They looked at Lin Feng. His eyes were filled with envy and jealousy. Fengzi, you've been in college for 4 years and are about to graduate. We'll all go our separate ways in the future. I wonder if we'll have a chance to meet again. Why don't we go out together, have a farewell dinner, and get together one last time? Lin Feng glanced at Sumushue subconsciously. Wife, what do you think? Sumushue was stunned for a moment and didn't react for a long time. Because after leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, Lin Feng has always called himself Sumushue. But at this time, he actually called himself his wife in front of his roommates? Although Sumushue was very happy. But in front of so many people, she was somewhat shy. But shyness is shyness. Sumushue quite enjoyed this feeling. Sumushue's cheeks flushed, and she said like a mosquito, what's the matter, husband? Lin Feng said, you heard it just now, my roommate asked me to go out for a farewell dinner. Why don't you come with us? Sumushue nodded, okay, I'm hungry. But will this disturb you? Several roommates saw this and shook their heads hurriedly, no, how could it disturb you? It's our honor to have dinner with the school beauty. We can't wait. Sumushue chuckled and then said, then let's go. At the same time, in an office building in Binhai City, a beautiful office lady wearing a hip skirt and long legs walked in from outside. She held a cup of coffee in her hand and looked a little hurried. Her name is Suanchi, Sumushue's biological sister. After graduating from college, she came to her family's beauty company and served as the director of the marketing department. At the age of less than 30, she led a team of hundreds of people. Although there was help from her family, it was more of a reflection of her personal ability. The employees in the marketing department were still very convinced of Suanchi's strength. Suanchi took her coffee, returned to her workstation, and started processing documents. Suddenly, she heard the employees outside gathered together to gossip. The subject of the conversation was her sister Sumushue. She was about to stand up and go out to ask what they were talking about. But at this moment, her phone rang. It was a TikTok video sent by her bestie. There were a few words attached below. Anchi, I heard that your sister is getting married? Congratulations. When will they hold the wedding? Remember to call me then. Suanchi was stunned when she saw these words. My sister is getting married? What's going on? She clicked on the video and started watching it immediately. At the solemn and grand graduation ceremony, Sumushue actually proposed to someone in public. And the two hit it off and went straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Seeing this, Suanchi trembled all over. Is her sister's lifelong event decided just like that? As far as she knows, her sister has always been polite and indifferent to boys. She has never been in a relationship in 4 years of college. It's not that she doesn't want to find a boyfriend, nor that no one is pursuing her. It's just that she hates those so-called rich second generations. Her personality is originally more aloof, and she doesn't like to socialize, so naturally she doesn't like to be entangled by others. But she never expected that she would propose to someone in public. This is simply unbelievable. No, such an important matter must be asked to her. Thinking of this, Suanchi took out her mobile phone and sent a few messages to Sumushue directly. Chapter 3, Happy Newlyweds. On the other side, Lin Feng was holding Sumushue's hand as they walked out of the university. A few of his roommates followed behind, watching the two with envious expressions. Sumushue looked particularly beautiful today. After changing out of her graduation robe, she wore a strapless short skirt that perfectly showcased her delicate figure. Beneath the skirt were 2 long, fair legs. Paired with white canvas shoes, she looked exceptionally youthful and vibrant. At that moment, Sumushue's phone rang. It was a message from her older sister, Suanchi. Mushue, someone just sent me a video from your graduation ceremony. I saw you proposing to a guy named Lin Feng. What's going on? Suanchi's tone sounded a bit agitated. Sumushue was momentarily stunned, then opened the voice message and replied, "Oh, sis, don't get too worked up. I'll explain everything once I'm done here." I'm with my husband now, and we're going to have a farewell dinner with his roommates. Talk soon. Bye. After sending the message, Sumushua switched her phone to silent mode and tucked it back into her pocket. In her office, Suanchi was left utterly confused. From what Mushua had said, it was clear that what happened at the graduation ceremony was real. She had really married Lin Feng. What on earth was going on? Who was this Lin Feng? How had he managed to capture her sister's heart and even make her propose in public? Suanchi was puzzled. She knew her sister's personality better than anyone. While Mushua may seem quiet and aloof, she took relationships seriously. But now, without saying a word, she had gone ahead and gotten married. This was so impulsive. The more Suanchi thought about it, the angrier she got. If their parents found out, they definitely wouldn't let Mushua off the hook. Should she call them now and tell them? She wondered what their reaction would be. After thinking for a moment, Suanchi decided to put her phone down. Since Mushua had said she would explain everything when she got back, Suanchi figured she should wait and hear what her sister had to say. As for their parents, she didn't know how they'd react. But if this Lin Feng really treated her sister well, then as the older sister, Suanchi would naturally support her and help mediate with their parents. After replying to her sister's message, Sumushua put her phone away. Lin Feng, noticing her unusual behavior, couldn't help but ask. "Wife, what did your sister say?" Sumushua frowned and said, "She seems to know that we got our marriage certificate. It'll probably reach my parents soon, too. But it's fine, at least I won't have to explain it to them myself." Lin Feng teased, "So, are you regretting marrying me now?" "Of course not." Sumushua replied firmly. "Marrying you is the biggest wish I had in my 4 years of university." Lin Feng immediately pulled Sumushua into an embrace, smiling broadly. "In that case, let us post a public announcement on WeChat moments later." "How about it, wife?" Sumushua's face turned slightly red, a bit shy, but she nodded. Being recognized by Lin Feng and becoming his wife was such a great blessing for her. Standing behind them, Lin Feng's roommates saw this scene and were immediately hit with a full dose of dog food, a term used when witnessing a couple's public display of affection. As single guys, how could they bear this blow? Originally, graduation was already a bittersweet occasion. After 4 years of college, it was hard to part with friends, especially the roommates with whom they'd shared countless memories. The thought of not knowing when they would meet again made the mood even heavier. But now, at this emotional time, they were being forced to eat dog food. Seriously, is this even fair? They, who didn't even have girlfriends, had to watch the campus goddess throw herself at their friend. It felt a little too much. "Frenzy, can you two be a little more low-key with the PDA?" one of them said, feigning frustration. "Showing off your love in front of us single guys, do you even have a heart? Seriously, you guys are going too far." Another one chimed in. "Have some mercy. We're already emotionally wounded, and now we have to witness this." Lin Feng chuckled and shrugged. "What can I say? If you don't find girlfriends, you have to deal with it." The roommates were speechless. "Damn it. Is it our fault we don't have girlfriends? Not everyone is like you, looking like a handsome model and having a campus queen fall for you." A few minutes later, they arrived at a food street near the school. The street was bustling with people, and the various restaurants lined up in neat rows. Over the past 4 years, whenever Lin Feng and his roommates gathered for a meal, they always came here. They were familiar with the environment and the food, and it had become a place filled with fond memories. Walking down the street, they arrived at a popular Sichuan restaurant they often visited. The place wasn't very large, but the variety of dishes was impressive. From mapo tofu and garlic pork to couple lung slices, kung pao chicken, and fish-flavored shredded pork, the menu had everything. Lin Feng and his roommates chose a table by the window. The restaurant was full of people celebrating their graduation. Most were from the same dorms or groups of close friends, with a few couples scattered among them. As graduation approached, everyone felt a little sentimental. As they ate, it wasn't unusual for tears to flow involuntarily. Seeing Lin Feng and his friends, the restaurant owner rushed over with a smile. "Little Lin, you guys are here. Come, take a seat." After they sat down, Lin Feng's best friend, Wang Bo, who was chubby and a die-hard anime fan, quickly made an order. "Boss, same as usual, and bring a dozen beers." Wang Bo said, before turning to Lin Feng. Hey, Fengzi, can Sumushua drink? Sumushua shook her head. I'm allergic to alcohol. I'll just have a drink, anything else fine. Wang Bo immediately changed his order. Alright, bring a dozen Harbin beers and a bottle of soy milk then. The owner happily agreed and went off to prepare their order. Sumushua took out her phone and said to Lin Feng, Hubby, let us take a selfie while we wait for the food. Didn't you say you wanted to post a public announcement? She added. Let us take a photo with the marriage certificate. By the way, you need to hold me in the photo, so it looks more intimate. Sure, Lin Feng replied, leaning in and wrapping his arms around her. The two of them posed in a cozy, affectionate way. With a click, the photo was taken. Lin Feng posted on WeChat Moments with the caption, "For years of university are over, and we're happily married." Sumushua also posted with a caption, "Dreams come true, officially on duty." Soon after, the posts were flooded with likes and comments. Especially Sumushua's moments, which continuously received notifications. The boys who had secretly admired her were beside themselves with envy, while her family members were utterly confused, not understanding what had happened. Chapter 4, The little cotton-padded jacket is being worn by someone. Lin Feng and Sumushua both posted official announcements on their moments at the same time. The two people's WeChat messages exploded instantly. Received countless likes and comments. Of course, more of it is the shock of relatives and friends. First, let us look at Lin Feng's side. His relatives and friends only knew that Lin Feng was handsome and had good academic performance. But unexpectedly, he got married and got a marriage certificate right after graduating from college. And the woman looked so beautiful, like a fairy. Lin Feng's uncles, aunts, uncles-in-law, and cousins all left messages below. You're amazing, you got married right after graduating from college. Brother Feng, you are so mean. You got married and you didn't even tell me. This girl looks so beautiful, even prettier than the female stars on TV. Aunt, you are out of date, right? My sister-in-law is the campus beauty of Binhai University. Haven't you watched Douyin? No wonder I was browsing Douyin yesterday and saw someone who looked a lot like Lin Feng. By the way, Xiaofeng, when are you going to hold your wedding? Remember to invite your cousin. Lin Feng's relatives and friends were all surprised about Lin Feng's marriage. It's not their fault, after all, Lin Feng just graduated from university. At the age of 22, just reaching the legal age for marriage, they got the marriage certificate. This kind of thing is very rare even now. Moreover, they got married in a flash. They confessed their love and got the marriage certificate on the same day. That's why their official announcement caused such a big sensation. The other side. Mingyu Villa. It took less than 5 minutes for Sumushua to post on WeChat Moments. Zhao Yalan is in the villa garden, playing with the dog and drinking afternoon tea with her girlfriends. Suddenly someone called me. In the garden, there were more than a dozen noble ladies gathered scattered around. These ladies are all graceful and elegant, and are all well-known and wealthy wives in Binhai City, with a net worth of hundreds of billions. One of the ladies ran to Zhao Yalan in a hurry, holding her cell phone. Sister Yalan, I think you don't consider us as friends at all. Such a big thing is still hidden. Zhao Yalan is Sumushua's mother. She is in her 40s, well-maintained, with a plump figure and fair skin. Time seems to have never left any trace on her. Moreover, Zhao Yalan has a gentle personality and is very considerate in her dealings with others. She has a very harmonious relationship with those wealthy ladies. She is the leader in the circle of coastal ladies. It is precisely because of this that the Su group can occupy a place in Binhai City. But at this moment, hearing her best friend's questioning, Zhao Yalan was a little confused. What do you mean you don't consider her a friend? Still hiding it. Sister Wang, what do you mean by this? Why don't I consider you a friend? Sister Wang didn't say anything, she just took out her cell phone and handed it over. You can see for yourself. I was just bored and checked my moments. I saw someone post a selfie with a marriage certificate in hand. At first, I didn't take it seriously, but when I looked carefully, I found that the person who posted on WeChat Moments was actually your little daughter, Sumushua, Sister Yalan. Having said that, Sister Wang paused and pointed at the phone screen. Sister Yalan, the person in this photo is your youngest daughter Mushua, right? Speaking of this, I have to say a few more words about you. You said we have been good sisters for so many years. I usually tell you everything, but you didn't even tell me about your youngest daughter's wedding. Aren't you treating me as an outsider? Several noble ladies nearby, upon hearing the commotion, came over. Sister Wang, what did you just say? You said Miss Yalan's youngest daughter got married. Is this true? I also have Mu Shue's WeChat, why didn't I see it? Hearing the doubt, Sister Wang enlarged the photo so that everyone could see it clearly. Did you see it? Isn't that Sister Yalan's little daughter in this photo? The people in the photo were Lin Feng and Su Muxue. They were seen behaving intimately, each holding their marriage certificate and smiling very sweetly. It can be said that they are perfect match, talented man and beautiful woman. Oh my goodness, Mu Shui is actually married. But you know what, Mu Shui has a good eye. She actually found a handsome guy. They look like a good match, they look like a couple. But, I have to say it, Sister Yalan, you are really a bit unkind. You didn't even tell us that Mu Shui of your family got married. Faced with the condemnation from her friends, Zhao Yalan was completely confused and didn't know how to respond. After all, she didn't know that her daughter was married. And, if you haven't seen it with your own eyes. Zhao Yalan couldn't believe it. My sweet and sensible little daughter actually got married secretly without telling me. Sister Wang, Sister Chen, it's not that I'm unkind. But I didn't know about this child getting the marriage certificate either. You guys continue playing. I'm going to leave for a while and talk to her dad about this. Zhao Yalan greeted these old girlfriends. Then he drove directly towards Su Group. As a mother, she was still in the dark about her daughter's marriage. This is really outrageous. Su Group. It's not just Zhao Yalan. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. Even Su Mushue's father was confused. Just now, he also saw this circle of friends. I didn't expect that I would raise this little cotton-padded jacket for 20 years. There's a leak. And someone put it on. Damn it, which father can tolerate this? Su Jungwo sat on the sofa and took a deep puff of the cigar in his mouth. Smoky. The whole office was filled with a pungent smell. His eyes were always on the photo of Lin Feng and Su Muxue. Before I knew it, the cigar in my hand had burned to the end. Su Jungwo sighed, put out his cigar and put it on the ashtray. Never mind. Girls should not be kept at home when they grow up. As long as that brat can be nicer to Mu Shui, everything can be discussed. He picked up his phone and saved the photos of Lin Feng and Su Muxue. Just at this moment, Zhao Yalan ran in hurriedly wearing high heels. Her chest heaved and she looked breathless. Old Su, do you know? Just now I was at home, having afternoon tea with my girlfriends, and they mentioned Mu Shui. Before Zhao Yalan could finish her words, Su Jungwo waved his hand and showed her his cell phone. On the mobile phone screen, the official photo of Lin Feng and Su Muxue appeared. Zhao Yalan looked at him in surprise. You know everything about Mu Shue's marriage. Su Jungwo nodded and sighed helplessly. So what do you think? Zhao Yalan continued to ask. What else can I do? They've already got the marriage certificate, you can't let your daughter get divorced, right? First, let's see if this guy is reliable. Didn't he just graduate? Let him join the company and make him a department manager to see what he is capable of. As long as he is truly good to Mu Shui, everything else will be easy to deal with. Whether it is Su Jungwo or Zhao Yalan, they are both open-minded parents. Although Su Muxue married her college classmate without telling them, they didn't mind. As long as my daughter is happy, that's enough. However, Mu Shui has always been an aloof child. His standards for people and his requirements for his significant other are quite high. Since she chose to marry Lin Feng, that means that Lin Feng must have some outstanding qualities. Thinking of this, Su Jungwo also felt a little bit of expectation for Lin Feng. Okay, let's observe for a few days first. Zhao Yalan nodded and agreed with Su Jungwo's approach. Chapter 5, Be a Wife-Loving Maniac. After the farewell dinner, Su Muxue brought Lin Feng back home. This villa was bought for Su Muxue by her parents. It is less than 10 minutes away from Binhai University, making it very convenient for commuting to school. Although her family's villa is only half an hour's drive from the school. But she doesn't like staying at home. She wants to become an independent woman of the new era through her own efforts. Since the second semester of my senior year, I went to my family's company for an internship. She never asked for a penny from her family and relied on herself for daily expenses. Sumushua supported Lin Feng and sat on the sofa in the living room. Seeing Lin Feng's slightly tipsy expression, Sumushua asked with concern, "Husband, are you tired? Do you want me to get you a glass of water?" Lin Feng shook his head. "I'm fine, you should sit down and rest for a while." After Lin Feng finished speaking, he began to look around the furnishings in the room. Brand new furniture, a tidy living room, and flowers and plants on the balcony. The whole house seems particularly cozy and makes people feel warm. As soon as Lin Feng sat down, Sumushua started to busy herself around. Without even having time to change clothes, he ran to the kitchen and cooked a bowl of egg soup for Lin Feng to sober him up. "Hubby, drink this bowl of soup quickly. I'm going to take a shower first." Sumushua put down the hangover soup in her hand, turned around and walked into the bathroom. The pretty figure almost never stopped. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng was deeply moved. Because in his previous life, he was a 996 office worker and was targeted by his superiors and colleagues all day long. His parents died in a car accident when he was in elementary school. So since he was a child, he had to rely on himself, and no one had ever treated him like this. But now, traveling to this world, not only did he awaken the system, but he also got a school beauty wife. Not only is she virtuous and considerate, she also has her own large mansion. This feeling is so good. But this also strengthened Lin Feng's determination. Since Sumushua treated him like this, he would definitely not let Sumushua down. In this life, he must make Sumushua the happiest woman in the world. Thinking of this, Lin Feng woke up the system and studied it carefully. When the system was just activated, Sumushua confessed to him in public in the auditorium. He had no time to study it, so now is a good time to take a look. "System, what functions do you have?" While Sumushua was taking a shower, Lin Feng said to the system in his heart. Replying to their host, this system is to help their host become the best model husband. As long as their host can make his wife feel happy, or complete tasks related to his wife, he can get corresponding rewards. After listening to the systematic explanation, Lin Feng nodded thoughtfully. To put it bluntly, this system. I just want Lin Feng to be a man who dotes on his wife. As long as you can make your wife happy, the rewards will naturally come in an endless stream. Bang! Just then, the bathroom door opened. Sumushua finished taking a shower and walked out. Lin Feng subconsciously looked towards the door. At this time, Sumushua was wearing a suspender pajamas and walked towards me with her long beautiful legs. Her hair was not completely dry yet and her pretty face was red. The fullness of her body looks particularly attractive when wrapped in the suspender pajamas. Lin Feng was stunned and it took him a long time to come back to his senses. It seems I really found a treasure this time. Honey, I'm done, do you want to take a shower? Sumushua's voice rang in Lin Feng's ears. Lin Feng shook his head, calmed down his excitement, and looked at Sumushua. Honey, do you want to come in and rub my back? Under the influence of alcohol, Lin Feng became bolder and teased Sumushua. Me? I haven't cleaned the kitchen yet. Go wash it yourself. When Sumushua heard that she was going to rub his back, her pretty face immediately turned red and she ran to the kitchen as if escaping. Seeing this, Lin Feng just smiled and shook his head, not forcing it. Although they both have already obtained their marriage certificate. But the time we spent together was too short, less than a day. So it is normal for Sumushua to be a little shy. Walking into the bathroom, Lin Feng took a bath in no time. Their whole process took less than 5 minutes. After taking a shower, Lin Feng looked in the bathroom mirror and began to think about life. As an ordinary person, to be able to marry a wife like Sumushua, it must be because of good deeds done in the previous life. But how will Lin Feng get along with Sumushua in the days to come? After all, the gap between him and Sumushua is too big. In this world, Sumushua is a stunning school beauty and comes from a wealthy family. She is the object of pursuit for countless boys. But what about Lin Feng? Apart from being handsome, he has nothing. Even if Sumushua doesn't care, her parents, and her relatives and friends. There will definitely be all kinds of doubts. There will definitely be a lot of rumors in society. Lin Feng could guess that there must be many people in other places who were discussing this matter, saying that he is not worthy of Sumushua at all. Having been a coward for so long in his previous life, Lin Feng doesn't want to continue to be so cowardly in this life. What should we do? Just then, A crisp sound came from his mind. Bite. The first step to being a model husband is to cook for your wife and get her praise. A gift pack for newbies. When Lin Feng heard the task issued by the system, he suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Cooking for your wife? Want to get her praise? When it comes to doing other things, Lin Feng can still do it with some effort. But he really knows nothing about cooking. Never mind, it's getting late now. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Chapter 6 Newbie Gift Pack. The next day, early morning. The sunlight shines into their house, directly illuminating the entire living room. Lin Feng woke up from his sleep, rubbed his sleepy eyes, and looked at Sumushue in the bedroom. Last night, Lin Feng wanted to do something. But Sumushue was very resistant, and Lin Feng did not force her. As the saying goes, you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. In order to prevent myself from taking action, Lin Feng took the initiative to come to the living room and spent the night on the sofa. And Sumushue was still lying on the bed, snoring like a little pig. After washing up, Lin Feng remembered the task issued by the system last night. Cook for my wife. And get her praise. Thinking of this, he went to the kitchen and prepared to make a loving breakfast for his wife. Lin Feng opened the refrigerator and found a bunch of ingredients. However, as a stay-at-home in his previous life, he didn't know how to cook any dishes except instant noodles. In the end, he decided to cook a simple bowl of beef ramen. Prepare meat, turn on the fire, and cook noodles. 10 minutes later, a bowl of steaming beef ramen was ready. Lin Feng picked up the chopsticks and took a quick bite. It tasted okay, at least the meat was cooked. But if you want to get Sumushue's praise, this is probably far from enough. Just then, the system's voice sounded. Bite. Because the host cooks for his wife. Reward attributes, cooking skills +1, physical strength +1. Hearing the system's voice, Lin Feng was stunned. Oh shit. Is this okay? Didn't you expect that you could get rewards just by cooking a bowl of noodles? It seems that the system is not deceiving. As long as you do things that make your wife happy, you will get corresponding rewards. Thinking of this, Lin Feng showed a satisfied smile on his face. Next, he cooked another bowl of beef ramen. The next second, the system voice sounded again. Bite. Because the host cooks for his wife. Reward attributes, cooking skills +1, stamina +1. Lin Feng tasted the freshly made beef ramen and found that with the help of his cooking skills, this bowl of noodles was obviously much better than the previous one. Lin Feng then cooked another bowl of beef ramen. This is already the third bowl of noodles. Although I don't know if I can finish the noodles later. But in the spirit of striving for perfection, Lin Feng decided to make a few more bowls. After all, as long as you make a few more bowls, your cooking skills will be improved. Apart from wasting some ingredients, there is no harm at all. Half an hour later, Lin Feng brought the fifth bowl of beef ramen to the table and stopped cooking. At this time, Sumushue had not yet gotten up. Taking advantage of this gap, Lin Feng opened the system panel and checked his various attributes. Host, Lin Feng. Gender, male. Age, 22. Strength, 5. Endurance, 5. Physical strength, 6. Agility, 3. Charm, 10. Cooking skills, 7 intermediate level, comparable to hotel chefs. Lucky, 2. Talent skills, none. On the system panel, all the values are clearly marked. Lin Feng took a few casual glances and had a general understanding of his various attributes. When he saw the cooking column, Lin Feng couldn't help but smile with satisfaction. It seems that these bowls of beef ramen were not made in vain. In just one morning, he had improved his cooking skills to an intermediate level. It's completely comparable to a restaurant chef. After checking the properties, Lin Feng brought the remaining bowls of beef ramen to the dining table. Then, he walked into the house and whispered to Sumushue. Wife, get up and have breakfast. Sumushue, who was sleeping, heard Lin Feng's voice and couldn't help but let out a moan, then slowly opened her eyes. The next second, a handsome face came into her sight. Lin Feng is already very handsome, and wearing an apron, he looks like a good family man. This kind of visual impact is still very lethal to women. Therefore, after Sumushue opened her eyes and saw Lin Feng, her pretty face immediately turned red. Thinking about what happened last night, Lin Feng wanted to force himself on her, and the two of them had some physical contact. Although she was pushed away in the end, she was still a little shy and didn't dare to look Lin Feng in the eyes. At this time, Lin Feng also saw this scene. He didn't point it out, but chuckled and said, "Get up and have breakfast." Sumushua nodded obediently, threw back the quilt and prepared to get up. But at this moment, her movements froze. Because at this moment, the suspender pajamas on her body actually slipped down. Lin Feng was still watching beside. Those deep eyes made Sumushua feel a little scared when looking at her. Sumushua was terrified. She quickly pulled up her pajamas and ran to the bathroom. Inside the restaurant, Sumushua's pretty face was still blushing. But after seeing Lin Feng making breakfast for her, she felt very touched. She never expected that Lin Feng would be so considerate and was truly the epitome of a good husband. At this moment, Sumushua felt warm, and an inexplicable emotion spread in her heart. Although she was married to Lin Feng, she was not used to his presence. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. However, since she has decided to marry him, Sumushua will slowly adapt and fulfill her obligations as a wife. This bowl of noodles tastes the best, try it. Lin Feng pushed the last bowl of beef ramen he made in front of Sumushua, signaling Sumushua to use her chopsticks quickly. Sumushua nodded implicitly. She picked up the chopsticks, picked up a few noodles and tasted them. When she put the ramen into her mouth and chewed it carefully for a few times, the expression on her face suddenly became surprised. Originally, she thought that she would be a handsome guy like Lin Feng. The food you make will definitely not be very delicious. But Sumushua was already very satisfied that he had this kind of heart. However, she never expected that the breakfast made by Lin Feng would taste so good. It's not an exaggeration to say that it was packed up and brought back from outside. Sumushua had eaten early last night and was already starving. She picked up the chopsticks and started to wolf down the food. Soon, she finished a bowl of beef ramen. How does it taste? Is it delicious? Lin Feng looked at Sumushua and asked. Very good, husband. Your cooking skills are even better than those in other restaurants. Sumushua gave a thumbs up and couldn't help but praise. Hearing this, Lin Feng showed a satisfied smile. If it's delicious, eat more. I cooked several bowls, Lin Feng said in a doting tone. As a husband, he must of course take good care of Sumushua and fulfill his responsibilities as a husband. Sumushua nodded happily. Even though it was just breakfast. But through this incident, Sumushua also had a better impression of Lin Feng. She also began to truly accept Lin Feng in her heart and regarded him as her husband. Bite. Congratulations to their host, you have completed the task, received praise from your wife, and are rewarded with a novice gift pack. Skills included, super memory, poetic talent, masculine virility. Technology included, future computer systems, hacker technology. Chapter 7 Future Computer System. After opening the novice gift pack, a series of rewards followed. Lin Feng was stunned for a moment, then a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He didn't expect that just a breakfast would bring him such a generous reward. Open the system panel, and the introduction of the 3 skills instantly appears before your eyes. Super memory. As a model husband, of course you can't forget various anniversaries, and having a super memory is essential. Poet's talent. Only with a poet's talent can you impress your wife. Male glory. Men never say no. After reading the explanation of the 3 skills, Lin Feng was suddenly speechless. This is too childish. The first 2 skills are still somewhat useful to him. But the last one. Are you kidding? He doesn't need it at all. Right, system. What is this future computer system? Lin Feng asked silently in his heart. Not long after, the system's voice was heard. Return to their host, future computer system. It is a high-tech computer system from the year 2233, independently developed by the Dragon Country team. This system is compiled in Dragon Mandarin and is the pinnacle of domestic computer systems. After listening to the systematic explanation, Lin Feng was overjoyed. Computer system from the future. And it was independently developed by the Longua team. This thing can be said to be a priceless treasure. Compared to the 10 million previously awarded by the system, it is a million times more awesome. The wealth that this thing can create is absolutely immeasurable. You should know that most of the computers in the world are running Microsoft Windows or Apple systems. Its market share is extremely large and it is in an absolutely dominant position. Moreover, these two systems were developed by the United States, and their security issues are a huge hidden danger. Once the United States wants to make trouble, all the data of Dragon Country will be exposed. After all, Long Country lags far behind the United States in computer systems. Such shortcomings are a major stumbling block to the development of Longwa's science and technology. If we can have our own domestic system, we can not only create wealth, but also lead Longwa to a new level. Why not do something like this? Thinking of this, Lin Feng decided to set up a technology company. The 10 million cash rewarded by the system can be used as starting capital. However, if we want to develop a domestic operating system, this 10 million is definitely not enough. However, Lin Feng is not worried about money matters. As long as you have the skills, integrating a few of his small goals would be a piece of cake, right? Besides, he still has the system in his hands. I'm not afraid of a hammer. Honey, what are you daydreaming about? Come and eat together. Seeing Lin Feng standing there in a daze, Sumushua couldn't help but ask. Lin Feng came back to his senses, nodded and said, okay. As soon as he sat down, Sumushua handed him a pair of chopsticks. Come on, husband, here are the chopsticks for you. Immediately afterwards, Sumushua took out her cell phone and tapped the beef noodles on the table. Then I opened WeChat and posted a message to my friends. Caption: first meal after marriage, heart-shaped noodles made by my husband heart-shape. Not long after I sent the message, my phone started buzzing. Sumushua's relatives, friends, college classmates, and her parents. Without exception, everyone saw this post on WeChat Moments. Seeing this photo full of dog food, everyone is envious and jealous. I hate myself for not having such a good husband. It was early in the morning and I was fed dog food. I didn't even have to eat breakfast. Mushue, is it really okay for you to show your affection like this? Have you ever considered the feelings of us singles? That's right, it's early in the morning, I haven't even brushed my teeth yet, but you've already fed me. Is this something Lin Feng made for you? It looks really good. I didn't expect he has this side to him. Sisters, don't say anything, I'll drink this bowl of dog food first. I saw the messages from my best friends in the circle of friends. Sumushua couldn't help but burst out laughing, her face filled with a happy smile. The curved eyelashes and sweet smile make people unable to help but be intoxicated by them. Lin Feng was also stunned, staring at Sumushua. A beauty like Sumushua is extremely attractive to any man. Especially her innocent smile with two dimples. It makes people feel like spring is coming, and they want to cherish and love her. Seeing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. My wife is so cute. Mushua, stop playing with your phone. Eat the noodles quickly before they get cold. Sumushua nodded obediently, put her phone aside and continued eating. Husband, do you know? I discovered that I had a really good eye. Not only did I find a handsome husband, but is also such a good cook and is so gentle to me. I'm so lucky. Lin Feng smiled and said, it is my luck to marry you as my wife. Sumushua smiled sweetly, her face filled with happiness. In this way, the two of them boasted to each other. Before I knew it, I had finished all the noodles in the bowl. Hubby, can I still eat the breakfast you make in the future? Sumushua asked with some anticipation. Lin Feng nodded, of course, as long as you don't mind my cooking skills. How could I dislike it? Sumushua smiled playfully, my husband's cooking skills are the best in the world. Lin Feng felt a little embarrassed after being praised so much by Sumushua. He waved his hand and said, it's over, it's over. What's over? Sumushua asked doubtfully. I mean, you're flattering me a little too much. Sumushua curled her lips and said, I'm not flattering you. I'm telling the truth. Really? Conditions like Sumushua's family. She has eaten all kinds of delicacies from land and sea, and she is very strict about the food. But the beef noodles made by Lin Feng gave her a sense of home warmth. That's why Sumushua thinks that Lin Feng's cooking skills are the best in the world. Although the dishes in the 5-star hotel are well cooked, they are delicious and tasty. But it lacks the warmth of home, and you will get sick of it if you eat too much. In comparison, their home-cooked meals made by Lin Feng make people feel more belonging. Her words came from the heart and were not just flattery. looking at Su Mushue's sincere look. Lin Feng didn't continue to dwell on her words, because he believed that a naive girl like Su Mushue would not lie. Chapter 8 Silly Wife. Mingyu Villa. Su Jingwo sat at the dining table. Looking at the sumptuous breakfast on the table, I have no appetite at all. Because just now, he saw the circle of friends that Su Mushue posted. Their whole person fell into deep thought. Well. He sighed heavily. It's like a daughter once she's married off is like water spilled out. He's already living with someone else, and he doesn't even bother to call home. You only know how to post on moments, but don't know how to block yourself. Isn't this just making things difficult for yourself? The more he thought about it, the more upset he became. He just picked up the sandwich and stuffed it into his mouth. But when I put the sandwich in my mouth, it tasted like chewing wax. His little cotton-padded jacket had been worn away by someone else, and as a father, he felt very upset. Seeing Su Jingwo's aggrieved look, Zhao Yalan, who was sitting beside him, almost laughed like a pig. She coughed lightly and jokingly said, "Honey, what's wrong with you? Who made you angry again?" Su Jingwo rolled his eyes at her and said unhappily, "It's already this hour, and you're still in the mood to joke with me. Speaking of which, you are also responsible for this matter." Su Jingwo suddenly turned his attention to Zhao Yalan. Zhao Yalan was stunned. She frowned and asked, "What is my responsibility? If you hadn't spoiled Mushue since she was a child, would she have become like this?" Hearing this, Zhao Yalan was speechless. To say that Su Mushue is spoiled. Is there anyone in this world who can compare to you? Thinking of this, Zhao Yalan snorted coldly. But she was too lazy to argue with Su Jingwo, so she changed the subject. "Okay, no more jokes, let's get serious. Do you think we should contact Lin Feng's parents? Since they are both married, shouldn't we discuss when to hold the wedding?" Before Su Jingwo could speak, Zhao Yalan continued. "Oh, there is one more very important thing. That's the gift." Su Jingwo was a little unhappy when he heard what Zhao Yalan said. "Wife, I thought you were an open-minded parent like me. We are not short of money, there is no need to act like we are selling our daughter. You have to know that for our Mushue, her happiness is the top priority. As long as Lin Feng is truly kind to my daughter, I won't say a word even if he throws himself at her." Hearing this, Zhao Yalan's face turned completely dark. She rolled her eyes at Su Jingwo and said coldly, "What are you talking about here? I haven't even finished my words yet, why are you so anxious? What I mean is that the bride price must be given. Because this is a traditional etiquette, it doesn't matter how much money you pay. But my idea is that if we accept the betrothal gift, we can return it tenfold." Su Jingwo was stunned for a moment, then asked, "Return 10 times the amount?" "Yes. This way, we can save both face and money. It can also show the generosity of our Su family. What do you think?" Cough cough. Su Jingwo was drinking water and almost choked. "Good boy, return it 10 times. What a family. No matter how generous you are, you can't do it like this, right? Aren't you afraid that Lin Feng will ask for a dowry of millions? Wouldn't that mean we have to return tens of millions? Wife, you are exaggerating." "No, no." Su Jingwo quickly waved his hand to refuse. Zhao Yalan said, "What's wrong with this? It's settled. Please clean up the dishes. I'll go upstairs and hang up the clothes." Having said that, she stood up and walked towards the stairs. Su Jingwo looked at her back and sighed helplessly. "Well. What is this? I have to pay for my daughter's marriage out of my own pocket. This is really a huge loss. But after all, she is my own daughter. Even if I feel uncomfortable, I cannot let my daughter down. Just make it 10 times. After all, money is a minor issue. As long as my daughter can live a happy life, that is more important than anything else. Besides, it is said that Lin Feng's family conditions aren't very good." Su Jingwo estimated that the most he could come up with was a 100,000 yuan dowry. Even if it is returned 10 times, it would only be 1 million. This is all small money. Thinking of this, Su Jingwo felt much better. The only thing that is a bit uncomfortable is the fact that my daughter got the marriage certificate secretly. Now he only hopes that Lin Feng can be nicer to Mushue. But judging from the circle of friends that Mushue just posted, Lin Feng made breakfast for Mushue. That's a good point. As for other aspects, that remains to be investigated. On the other side, in the dining room, Sumushua finished 2 bowls of beef noodles and leaned back in her chair contentedly. I'm so full, Tilda. She touched her stomach and found it was a little bloated. Lin Feng put the bowl down and couldn't help but joke. I didn't expect that school beauty Su has such a good figure and eats so much. If the students of Binhai University knew this, they would probably be shocked, right? Sumushua rolled her eyes at him and said, I don't care what they think. By the way, why do you still call me school beauty Su? Call me wife. Lin Feng smiled and said, okay, my dear wife. Lin Feng stood up from his chair and prepared to clean up the dishes. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Seeing this, Sumushua hurriedly grabbed his hand and said, husband, sit down and have a rest. Just leave the small matter of washing the dishes to me. Lin Feng smiled and said, it's okay. I'm not tired anyway. No, I have to wash it. You're already working hard enough making breakfast. Sumushua pouted and said sweetly, from now on, you cook and I wash the dishes. When we work together as men and women, the work won't be tiring. Hearing this, Lin Feng's mouth corners slightly raised. Wife, I didn't expect you to be such a good wife and mother. Of course. Sumushua straightened her chest and continued, but I'm not good enough now. I will study hard in the future and strive to be a good wife. Lin Feng looked at her, but, you are already very good now. No, it's not good enough, it has to be better. After washing the dishes, Sumushua sat on the sofa, leaning against Lin Feng. It's still early, not even 8 o'clock. There is still more than an hour before Sumushua goes to work. Wife, it's still early. You said we are. Sumushua glared at him and said in horror. Hubby, you're not going to do anything bad, are you? Lin Feng chuckled and said defensively, do you think I look like that kind of person? So what do you want to do? Lin Feng didn't say anything. He just picked up Sumushua by the waist and walked upstairs. Get up so early. Let's go back and take a nap. No, I have to go to work later. Before Sumushua could finish her words, Lin Feng carried her into the bedroom and threw her onto the bed. Wife, do you know? If a couple doesn't fulfill their obligations, it's against the law. Hearing this, Sumushua suddenly panicked. Breaking the law. Is this true or false? If it were someone else, they might not believe it at all. But Sumushua is just a silly girl, she believes whatever Lin Feng says. Okay, in that case. Then you win. Seeing Sumushua's blushing cheeks, Lin Feng was secretly happy. My own wife. It's so deceptive. One update today, make up for it tomorrow. Chapter 9, Start a business and refuse to live off others. Half an hour later. The two had a deep exchange. But the final step was never taken. It's not that Lin Feng can't do it, but Sumushua is a little resistant. After all, she has never had a boyfriend or had any close contact with the opposite sex since she was a child. She couldn't accept having to do that kind of thing after just 2 days of marriage. Lin Feng did not force it, because he knew that a forced melon is not sweet. It's better for things like this to happen naturally. Sumushua lay on the bed, nestling obediently in Lin Feng's arms, looking a little shy. It was almost 9 o'clock. But Sumushua didn't care about being late at all. Anyway, I'm going to work at my family's company, so no one dares to say anything even if I'm late. She just wants to spend more time with her husband now. Lin Feng didn't say anything and hugged Sumushua tightly. At this moment, the mobile phone on the bedside table suddenly lit up. Sumushua picked up the phone and found that Suanchi had called her several times. But at that time, she was being intimate with Lin Feng. So I didn't hear it at all. It's not time to go to work yet. My elder sister called me so many times. Is it because I got the marriage certificate without my permission and made my parents unhappy? Sumushua muttered to herself. She originally planned to send a WeChat message to ask. But then I thought, I have to go to work soon. It would be better to talk about it after we meet. It won't take too long. Thinking of this, she threw her phone aside. Quietly enjoying the wonderful time alone with Lin Feng. That's right, husband. How about I take you to meet my parents some other day? My parents haven't met you yet. Lin Feng nodded, okay. But when the time comes, I have to be prepared. If your parents don't like me, that would be troublesome. Sumushua giggled, "Don't worry, they will definitely like you." Then, she couldn't help but add, "Speaking of this, I'm more worried about whether my parents-in-law will like me." Speaking of Lin Feng's parents, they called me last night when I was going to bed. He severely reprimanded Lin Feng, saying that he did not even tell his parents about such a big thing as getting married. Although Lin Feng's parents seemed angry on the surface, they still liked Sumushua as their daughter-in-law very much. After all, he was able to marry such a beautiful wife without spending a penny. As expected, he is from the Lin family. Don't worry, wife. My parents and my relatives, they all like you very much. Sumushua was skeptical, really. Lin Feng nodded, of course it's true. After all, my wife is so beautiful, who wouldn't like her? After hearing what Lin Feng said, Sumushua's already flushed face became even redder. She is so charming when she is shy. Hubby, you're so annoying. Sumushua covered her face with her hands and said something coquettishly. But I feel very sweet in my heart. She was very happy to be praised by Lin Feng. Oh, honey, I have something else to tell you. That's the thing about me starting a business. Sumushua was a little surprised and said with wide eyes, Husband, you want to start a business? Yes. Lin Feng nodded and said, I can't just keep living off others, right? We are married now, but I don't even have a house, so I can only live in your house. For a man, this is a very damaging thing. Besides, we still have a long time to live. I can't let you support me, right? So, I plan to start my own business and own my own company. Lin Feng will not reveal too much about the domestic system. But what needs to be said still needs to be said. Sumushua hugged Lin Feng's arm and said with a smile, Husband, then I support you. I believe you can definitely succeed. Keep working hard. Lin Feng nodded. Sumushua continued to ask, Husband, what do you plan to start your business with? Lin Feng thought for a moment and said, I plan to start a technology company, but I haven't decided on the specific business yet. Sumushua smiled and said, It's okay, don't worry, take your time. We have just graduated, and now is the time to show our talents. Let's work together. But husband, I want you to know one thing, that is, no matter what happens, I will stand behind you and support you silently. Besides, if you need startup capital, I can give it to you. As Sumushua spoke, she took the wallet from the bedside table, which contained 2 bank cards. One of them was the New Year's money she had received since she was a child, totaling more than 5 million. The other one was the salary card that Su Jungwo gave her, which also contained nearly 1 million in cash. She handed both bank cards to Lin Feng. Husband, take this money and use it. If it's not enough, tell me and I'll make it up for you. Lin Feng looked at the thick bank card in his hand and felt warm in his heart. He returned the bank card to Sumushua. Wife, I will figure out the money issue myself. Take your bank card back. Seeing Lin Feng's refusal, Sumushua became a little anxious. No, husband. When starting a business, the most important thing is startup capital. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. We're married now, so half of this money is yours, just take it. Lin Feng is not a male chauvinist. I don't mind the issue of whether or not to be a gigolo. If he had no money, he would definitely accept the money. But the problem is that he now has the system and 10 million in cash, so he doesn't have to worry about money at all. Wife, let's put it this way. You keep the bank card for now. When I need money, I will tell you. All right. Sumushua nodded reluctantly, then looked at the time, Honey, it's getting late, I should go to work. But, husband, I really can't bear to leave you. You'll miss me at home, won't you? Lin Feng smiled and said, Of course. Sumushua stood up and prepared to get dressed. She felt somewhat embarrassed to change clothes in front of a boy, so she asked Lin Feng to wait outside the door. After changing clothes, Sumushua came out. When Lin Feng saw Sumushua in front of him, his eyes suddenly lit up. Sumushua was wearing an OL suit, her white legs wrapped in stockings, looking particularly attractive. She picked up her bag, said goodbye to Lin Feng, and drove to Su Group. Lin Feng stayed at home and packed his things. I am going to go to the Industrial and Commercial Bureau to register the company name. But at this moment, the system's voice came. Bite. Because their host is constantly striving to improve himself, he refuses to be a freeloader. Bonus attributes, Charm +1. Luck plus 1. Bonus skill, protection for new entrepreneurs. Chapter 10, Domineering Female CEO. Seeing the reward in front of him, Lin Feng was stunned for a moment. The first two are easy to understand. What is this protection for new entrepreneurs? As if sensing Lin Feng's doubts, the system responded immediately. Return to their host, protection for novice entrepreneurs is a continuous skill. With this skill, when the host is engaged in entrepreneurial activities, the system will automatically escort the host. To put it simply, it is equivalent to the novice period in the game. Before the host establishes a company and the market value exceeds 100 million yuan, he will enjoy the protection of this skill. After listening to the system's explanation, Lin Feng couldn't help but grin. This skill is a good thing. In this day and age, 9 out of 10 startups fail. No matter how awesome you are, you can't beat bad luck or run into a big pit, which can bankrupt your company. But with this skill, you can avoid these risks and safeguard your future entrepreneurial journey. I have to say, this skill is very necessary. Lin Feng was secretly excited for a while. He looked at the time. It was almost 10 o'clock. At this time, the Industrial and Commercial Bureau should be open for business. He went into the bathroom, tidied himself up, and changed into a formal suit. The whole person looks exceptionally handsome. Afterwards, he went out and took a taxi directly to the Industrial and Commercial Bureau. It took half an hour to register the new company. As for the name of the new company, Lin Feng named it Fengshan Technology Company, Limited. Immediately afterwards, Lin Feng came to the center of Binhai City and found an office building that looked good. I directly rented an office of over 1,000 square meters. As for the price, it is definitely a bit expensive. But for the long-term development of the company, Lin Feng gritted his teeth and took it directly. Besides, Lin Feng now has 10 million in cash. It shouldn't be a problem to maintain the company's expenses for half a year. In the next 6 months, it depends on how the company develops. As long as the company can raise the first round of funds, it will be able to gain a foothold in Binhai, and it will be easier to make money then. And Lin Feng also has system help. As long as nothing unexpected happens. Lin Feng is confident that within half a year, Fengshan Technology will become the world's top technology company. After finishing these things, the next thing is the issue of employees. To succeed in starting a business, besides capital, the most important things are technology and talent. This is especially important for technology companies. As for the technical aspect, Lin Feng doesn't have to worry at all. He now has in his hands the top computer operating system from the future. And it was compiled in Chinese. Once it is launched, Lin Feng believes that it will be popular within half a month. The name of Fengshan Technology Company will resound throughout the Dragon Country and even the world. Now, he only needs to recruit a group of system maintenance talents. Naturally, the salary Lin Feng offers to his employees will not be too low. As for 996 or something like that, Lin Feng was not interested in that either. Since we want to be an industry benchmark, we must not only be ahead of the country in technology. In terms of employee system, we must naturally crush those vampire-like companies in the country and become a model of industry benchmark. The patent needs to be opened up so that the industry can be convinced. Thinking of this, Lin Feng went home and started to get busy. At the same time, Sumushua drove to their Su group. After graduation, Sumushua can actually develop abroad. But she chose to stay in the country and work for her family's company. Her idea was simple. That is, she doesn't like life abroad, she wants to stay in Longhua and work hard on her favorite career. She wants to create a domestic cosmetics brand that will be well known internationally. Let domestic products go global. She is not like some people who think the moon is rounder abroad than at home after going abroad. After he came back, he would speak a few English words at every turn and thought he was superior to others. The most annoying thing is that whenever they mention domestic brands, they show a look of disdain on their faces. It seems that foreign cosmetics brands are the truth. This made her very disgusted. So, from the moment she entered college, she made a life plan for herself. Before graduating from college, find a boy you like and marry him. Then start focusing on your career. She must let these people know that the so-called domestic products are no worse than others. This is also what makes Sumushua charming. She is very ambitious, knows what she wants and what is right. She wants more than just making money. She wants to make domestic brands shine on the international stage. This is also called opening the patent. Sumushua walked into the elevator. Come to the floor where the project department is located. At this time, many colleagues were talking about Sumushua. Oh, look, Sister Mushue is here just now. If I remember correctly, this is the first time Sister Mushue is late after working for so long, right? Yeah, if it were any other time, she would have been here a long time ago. Several female colleagues were talking about it, and one of them, a hot beauty, covered her mouth and laughed. What's so strange about this? Yesterday at Binhai University's graduation ceremony, President Su proposed to a student named Lin Fong on the spot. Besides, last night, she even posted an official announcement on her moments. They posted their marriage certificate. Lin Fong is so handsome. I'm so envious. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. So last night was the couple's wedding night. Isn't it normal to be late today? I remember this time last year, Xiaolan had just gotten a boyfriend, and the next day, just as they were gossiping, Sumushua came over. When everyone saw her, they immediately shut up. They also understood that Sumushua was a person who always clearly distinguished between public and private matters. Privately, she is a very nice girl who can chat with anyone. But when she is working, she is still very dedicated, never procrastinating and always acting decisively. If she found out that an employee had a bad work attitude, she will deal with it seriously. So, everyone is in awe of her, but not afraid of her. Otherwise, I wouldn't call her Sister Mushue in private. Sister Mushue, good morning. Seeing Sumushua coming, colleagues in the project department stood up and greeted her. Sumushua nodded. Well, sorry, I'm late. Xiaolan, print out the previous plan and send it to my office. Then call Mr. Wang and tell him that we have a new product coming to the market. How is his preparation going? After saying that, Sumushua walked straight into the office. Once it's time to go to work, Sumushua seems like a different person. She was wearing a hip-hugging miniskirt, and her long, white legs were tightly wrapped in stockings. A pair of black high heels, about 10 centimeters high, made a crisp sound when they stepped on the floor. Their whole person looks noble, sexy and cool. She is just like a domineering female president. After entering the office, Sumushua sat in her office chair. Turn on the computer and start working seriously. It was almost noon when Suanchi arrived at the office door. She knocked on the door. Come in. Sumushua spoke to the outside while processing documents. Suanchi opened the door and walked in. Mushue, I called you so many times, why didn't you answer? Also, I was late for work today. And when you came, you didn't even bother to come to my office to find me first. Hearing her sister's accusation, Sumushua looked up at her and smiled. Sorry, sister, I overslept today. But what's the matter with you calling me so early? Suanchi curled her lips and said, I have nothing to do with you. It's our mom who wants to invite you to lunch. She said she wanted to talk to you about Lin Fong. Chapter 11 A Chance to Make a Fortune. Hearing this, Sumushua immediately put down the work in her hands. Looking at Suanchi intently. Sister, what did you just say? Mom, do you already know about my marriage to Lin Fong? Suanchi was a little amused when she heard this. Nonsense, do you think everyone is blind? You posted selfies, showed off your breakfast, and even posted your marriage certificate. Any normal person would know this, right? After hearing this, Sumushua suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Oops. I actually forgot to block my parents. Sumushua asked, what do my parents think? What else can I think? You have already received your marriage certificate. Even if they don't agree, they can only compromise now. You are such a fool. You didn't even tell us about such a big thing as marriage and just went straight to get the marriage certificate. Aren't you afraid of being cheated? Looking at her silly sister, Suanchi was speechless. Hearing this, Sumushua smiled and said, Sister, so my parents agree to my marriage. Suanchi rolled her eyes at her and said speechlessly. Mushue, don't misunderstand me. I just said that my parents don't object to your marriage. But I didn't say they would like Lin Fong. Sumushua. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I was so happy for nothing. Sumushua muttered, her face full of disappointment. Seeing this scene, Suanchi sighed and spoke to comfort her. Don't be too sad. In fact, my parents still admire Lin Feng very much. Otherwise, they would have captured you long ago. Okay, I won't talk to you anymore. Mom is still in the restaurant, waiting for us to come over. Put down what you are doing and follow me. Sumushua nodded. Oh, okay. 10 minutes later. Suanchi brought Sumushua to a private restaurant near the company. As soon as I entered the door, I saw Zhao Yalan. She sat in a window seat. Mushua, Anchi, you are here, please sit down. Sumushua couldn't help but speak not long after she sat down. Mom, I'm sorry. I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau with Lin Feng to get the marriage certificate without consulting you. Of course, this can't be blamed on Sumushua. You know, it took her a lot of effort to muster up the courage to confess to Lin Feng. If we don't strike while the iron is hot and get the marriage certificate first, what if Lin Feng suddenly changes his mind the next day? By then, wouldn't all our efforts be in vain? Seeing Sumushua acting like a child who had done something wrong, Zhao Yalan couldn't help but laugh. Silly girl, don't be nervous. Mom doesn't blame you. Actually, your father and I have no objection to your marriage to Lin Feng. After all, you are an adult now. But we hope that if you make any important decisions in the future, you can tell us in advance, okay? Suanchi, who was sitting nearby, also said, yes. You are too impulsive. Sumushua nodded, then asked cautiously. But, Mom, since you don't object to me marrying Lin Feng. So you called me out today just to tell me this. It shouldn't be that simple, right? Sumushua was right. Zhao Yalan did have other purposes in asking her out today. Seeing her daughter speak so tactfully, Zhao Yalan immediately smiled. Mushua, you are right. Mom asked you to come out today because she has something else to do. Mom wants you to talk to Lin Feng after get off work and give me his parents' phone number. R. Sumushua was a little puzzled. Why do you want his parents' phone number? Zhao Yalan said with a smile. Mushua, since you two are planning to get married. Then next, we must plan the wedding and hold the banquet. Don't worry about these things. Your father, Lin Feng's parents and I will help you with it. When can you call Lin Feng's parents out? Let our two families meet and see what kind of people they are. In addition, we can also talk about the betrothal gifts and the 3 golds. Zhao Yalan looked at Sumushua with a smile. After hearing the previous things, Sumushua didn't have any objections. After all, things like booking hotels and organizing banquets should be done by the elders. However, when Zhao Yalan mentioned the bride price and the 3 golds, Sumushua frowned immediately and said hurriedly, Mom, our family is not short of money, why are you asking my husband for a betrothal gift? Hearing this, Zhao Yalan was suddenly speechless. This girl. You are really capable. You haven't even gotten married yet, but your elbows are already turning outward. Zhao Yalan rolled her eyes and said, yes, our family is not short of money, but we can't even refuse the betrothal gift. Our Su family is a well-known and prestigious family in Binhai. If this gets out, it will be so ugly. Sumushua curled her lips, looking unhappy. No, I don't agree. Sumushua is a very stubborn person, she will not easily change her decision. My husband has just entered society and is starting his own business, which is already hard enough. She didn't want to add to Lin Feng's burden. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. But Zhao Yalan's next words made her completely change her mind. Mushua, your father said. No matter how much Lin Feng gives as a betrothal gift, he will return it tenfold. Are you sure you want him not to give the bride price? Hearing this, Sumushua was stunned. What, 10 times the return? Mom, you are kidding me. When did my dad become so generous? Hearing this, Zhao Yalan couldn't help but say in her heart, your father is such a stingy person. If it weren't for my little trick, would he have become so generous? But she still said, Mushua, look at what you said. Your father is actually quite generous to you. Sumushua smiled and said, yes. My dad is the best to me. What about your mother? Mom is very good to me too. Zhao Yalan glared at her and said, you little bitch, you still have a conscience. But let us get back to the issue of the bride price. No matter how much you give, Dad will return it tenfold. A bold idea suddenly came to Sumushua's mind. Doesn't your husband want to start a business recently? Although he said that he could handle the money issue himself. However, everything is difficult at the beginning. My husband just graduated and doesn't he have many connections in Bin Hai? Plus, my husband's family conditions don't seem to be particularly good. Without sufficient funds, it would be difficult to start a business. But now, an opportunity to make a fortune is right in front of you. As long as he gives his savings to Lin Feng, he can use the money as a marriage gift. In this way, you can cheat your dad out of his money. No, it was borrowed. Then wouldn't my husband have a source of funds for starting his own business? Thinking of this, Sumushua secretly gave herself a thumbs up for her intelligence. Make up for yesterday's chapter, please give me a recommendation vote tilde. Chapter 12, Your sister wants to have dinner with me. Finish lunch. Zhao Yalan stood up first and went to the front desk to pay the bill. Then he took Sumushua and Suanqi and left the private restaurant. Before leaving, she did not forget to instruct Sumushua. Mushue, when you go back, remember to tell Lin Feng. Give me his parents' phone number. Sumushua nodded, okay, Mom. Aren't you going back with us? Zhao Yalan waved her hand and said, no, Yuan and Qi should go back. Mom has something to deal with later. Okay Mom, then be careful on the road. After Zhao Yalan left, Suanqi and Sumushua walked towards the Su group. On their way, Suanqi seemed a little absent-minded. I remember that a few days ago, my sister was still single. I haven't even had a boyfriend in 4 years of college, but it's only been a few days. She actually got the certificate. How embarrassing it is for her as an elder sister. My sister is married, but I am still single. I feel sad just thinking about it. And judging from the 2 posts Sumushua posted on WeChat Moments. The first one is a selfie of the 2 of them. My brother-in-law is indeed very good-looking. Suanqi has been in society for many years and has seen all kinds of handsome guys. But after seeing Lin Feng, I still feel a little excited. The second one is the loving breakfast made by Lin Feng, and it seems that his cooking skills are also very good. Not only is he handsome, he's also very talented. This is definitely a high-quality stock. Suanqi couldn't help but ask, Mushue, was it really Lin Feng who made breakfast for you today? Yes. Sumushua boasted with a proud expression. It tastes amazing, even better than a Michelin chef. And my husband is very nice to me. He said he will make breakfast for me from now on. Sister, do you know what it feels like to be spoiled by a man? Before Suanqi could speak, Sumushua continued, forget it, you're a single dog, you won't understand even if I tell you. Hearing this, Suanqi was so angry that her teeth were itching. I never thought that one day I would be despised by my own sister. Not only will you be despised, but you will also have to eat the dog food she spreads. It's so infuriating. Cut. I don't believe that Lin Feng is as good as you say. As the saying goes, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. I think you are just blinded by love. Suanqi retorted mercilessly. She actually said this to herself. She didn't believe that her sister could find such an outstanding boy just by marrying someone casually. How could she, an old maiden who had gone on hundreds of blind dates and had more than a dozen boyfriends, face her? Sumushua curled her lips and said, if you don't believe it, forget it. If you have ever met Lin Feng, you would never say such a thing. How about this, I'll ask Lin Feng out tonight. Let's have a meal together, 3 of us. It's a good opportunity for you to meet my husband. Then you will know whether I have been blinded by love. Suanqi nodded, okay, I want to see if this Lin Feng is as good as you said. Sumushua snorted coldly, just wait and see. After returning to Su Group, Sumushua walked into her office. He took out his cell phone and sent a WeChat message to Lin Feng. Honey, are you done with your work? Seeing the WeChat message from Sumushua, Lin Feng replied directly via voice message. Almost. The company has been registered and the office has been rented. The next step is to recruit employees. What's wrong, wife, what do you want from me? Sumushua typed, yes. My sister wants to have dinner with you tonight, are you free? Your sister wants to have dinner with me. Lin Feng said in surprise. Yes, we have already obtained the marriage certificate, but my family has not met you yet. During this period of time, I plan to take you to meet my family and friends bit by bit. Also, when are you going to take me back to meet your parents? I'm really afraid that my parents-in-law won't like me. Finally, Sumushua made an aggrieved expression. See the message sent by Sumushua. Lin Feng smiled and shook his head. He had originally planned to take Sumushua back to his hometown to meet his parents in the next 2 days. After all, my parents have been urging me to take my wife back home. But Lin Feng just established the company. Next, there are still many things to do. At least we have to wait until he has recruited all the employees and got the company up and running. Only then can I leave for a while. So now, let's put this matter on hold for a while. Wife, let's talk about this later. I'm very busy at work right now and can't get away. Hearing this, Sumushua was a little disappointed. But soon, she recovered and typed. Well, it won't be too late for us to go after you're done with this. It just so happens that I can take advantage of this time to think about what kind of gift I should prepare for my parents-in-law. Also, I'm going to have dinner with my sister tonight. Are you free tonight? Lin Feng replied, no problem, I'll go to your company to find you when you get off work in the evening. Sumushua was stunned for a moment and said in surprise. Honey, are you coming to the company to see me? So does this count as picking up your wife from get off work? Lin Feng smiled and said, you can understand it that way. Well, then we have a deal. See you at 7 p.m. Lin Feng replied with an emoticon that said okay. After closing WeChat, Sumushua felt warm in her heart. It feels so wonderful to have a man like this who pampers and loves her. She was already looking forward to it, a few hours later. When Lin Feng came to the company to pick him up from get off work. What kind of expressions would their other colleagues have when they saw this? This scene has even appeared in Sumushua's mind, and she feels happy just thinking about it. Chapter 13, Social Death Scene. Afternoon. Because Lin Feng posted the recruitment information on the recruitment software. An offer extremely generous salaries. So soon, I received more than a dozen resumes. Lin Feng made an appointment with them to meet at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Throughout the entire afternoon, Lin Feng interviewed nearly 20 applicants. But in the end, only 5 people were admitted. The others had frustrated expressions on their faces because they lost the election. Seeing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh, if he didn't have the awakening system. Now you may have become a corporate slave, running around in various office buildings, struggling to find a low-paying job. Living a 996 life, just living a dull and boring life. But now, we have a system. Lin Feng's fate will also undergo earth-shaking changes. Lin Feng shook his head, calmed himself down, and looked at the time. It was almost 6:30. I have to pick up my wife later, so let us end the interview here for today. According to his plan, he wanted to build a domestic operating system. At least hundreds of employees are needed. After all, this is a big project. Even though he had the help of the system, he had obtained the source code of the domestic system. Just hire a few programmers and let them write them one by one according to the source code. But even so, it is far from enough to make function technology a large enterprise. A mature enterprise requires employees from many different departments to cooperate with each other. Only by cooperating with each other can we make the company bigger and stronger. Lin Feng was very clear about this. So what Lin Feng has to do next is very simple. That means recruiting like crazy. After realizing this, Lin Feng locked the door and left the office. Then he called a taxi and rushed to Su Group. 10 minutes later, Lin Feng came to Su Group. He walked straight into the building and sent a message to Sumushua. Wife, I'm already at the Su Group. Which floor are you on? Honey, I'm on the 8th floor, in the project department. Wait downstairs. I'll go down to find you. After Sumushua replied to the message, she quickly put down the documents in her hand. Then he walked out of the office and went downstairs to find Lin Feng. Seeing Sumushua's hurried look, colleagues in the project department. No one could sit still and started talking. Sisters, did you see the message sent in the group just now? The lady at the front desk just said in the group that Lin Feng seems to have come to our company. Now, he is on the 1st floor. Hearing this, other colleagues immediately became interested. They gathered together and asked with gossipy expressions. Lin Feng? Are you talking about Sister Mu Shue's husband Lin Feng? Is this true? Which group message was sent? Do you have any photos? Let me see. Having said that, everyone immediately opened WeChat and clicked on their internal small groups. Soon, I saw the photos taken secretly by the front desk. In the photo, Lin Feng is wearing formal attire and looks very elegant. There was a faint smile on his face. When people watch it, they can't help but immerse themselves in it. What a handsome guy! Moreover, this is Apple's original picture, without any beauty or filter. Even so, Lin Feng in the photo is still extremely handsome. You can imagine how handsome he is in person. Wow, is this Sister Mu Shue's husband? So handsome, like someone who came out of a comic book. Oh my goodness, Sister Mu Shue is so lucky to have found such a handsome husband. If I could marry him, even if it meant my breasts would be 2 sizes smaller, I would be willing. Everyone. What kind of lewd words are these? But when I saw the female colleague who was talking, her breasts were as big as an airport. Everyone was relieved. There was nothing in the first place, so where could dust gather? The other side. Sumushua took the elevator and came to the first floor lobby. I saw Lin Feng standing at the door. Husband! Sumushua shouted excitedly. Then he ran quickly towards Lin Feng. Although she really wanted to give Lin Feng a hug or a kiss. But this is in the company after all, and as a manager, she still needs to maintain her dignity. So don't be too enthusiastic. She couldn't ruin her image as a domineering female CEO. Otherwise, how can she survive in the company in the future? But although Sumushua thought so in her heart. But just now, because she was too excited, she called out, "Husband." It's just too loud. It can be said that it echoed throughout the entire hall. It instantly attracted everyone's attention. The colleagues around me all had strange expressions on their faces. The employees passing by also stopped and looked at the two. Seeing this scene, Sumushua's pretty face turned red and she was extremely embarrassed. This is simply a social death scene. Lin Feng didn't care and walked over slowly. With a faint smile on his face, he looked at Sumushua and said, "Honey, are you done? Wait, where are we going to eat?" Sumushua calmed down her awkward mood and waved her hand. "I'm not done yet. I have some work on my hands, it will take me a few minutes to finish. Honey, do you want to come up with me and wait for me at the project department?" My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. Lin Feng nodded, "Okay." Sumushua said, "Then let's go up." Being stared at by so many people, Sumushua felt uncomfortable all over and wished she could get into the elevator immediately. The scene just now was so outrageous. After entering the elevator, Sumushua hurriedly pressed the button for the 8th floor. The embarrassment on my body slowly subsided. The elevator reached the 8th floor, and Sumushua took Lin Feng and walked directly to the project department. "Honey, this is where I work." The Su group is divided into 5 departments in total, and each department is responsible for different tasks. The project department is the largest department in the company. It can be said to be the heart of the company. My mother and I are jointly responsible for it. Come in, I'll show you around my office. Sumushua took Lin Feng and walked directly to the project department's office area. When the figures of Sumushua and Lin Feng appeared in front of everyone, all the employees in the project department were stunned. Sister Mu Shue's husband is hundreds of times more handsome than in the photo. Whether it's appearance or figure, she can be said to be absolutely beautiful. When they saw Lin Feng, the female employees' eyes sparkled and they looked like crazy fans. The male employees showed expressions of envy and jealousy. Oh shit. He is so damn handsome. No wonder he can win the heart of Mr. Su's daughter so many times. Let's go, husband. My office is inside. Sumushua took Lin Feng into the office. The employees of the project department began to discuss heatedly again. The female colleagues are all extremely fascinated by Lin Feng's appearance. As for the male colleague, he just stood there in a daze, speechless. Compared with Lin Feng, they found that they looked so shabby. Sure enough, this era. Appearance is king. Chapter 14, What's Missing is Typhoon. Enter the office. Sumushua closed the door. She walked up to Lin Feng shyly. "Honey, I miss you so much. It's only been a while since we last met, but it feels like a long time has passed." Lin Feng laughed and said, "How can it be so exaggerated? It's only been half a day. But it really feels like a long time has passed." Sumushua pouted, looking aggrieved. She looked up at Lin Feng and asked in confusion, "Honey, why do I feel like you're more handsome than this morning?" Lin Feng touched his cheek and smiled, really? Maybe you missed me too much. Lin Feng made up an excuse to get away with it. But he knew that Sumu Shue had such a feeling because the system rewarded him with 1 charm point in the morning. After all, the bonus of charm value is still amazing. In addition, Lin Feng has a good foundation, so the bonus of his charm value will naturally be higher. Oh. What you said makes sense. Sumu Shue heard this without any doubt. No matter what Lin Feng said, she would choose to believe it unconditionally. She nodded and said, "Hubby, please sit down for a while. I'll be done soon. We'll go eat later." "Okay, go ahead and do your thing. Don't worry, no matter how late it is, I will wait for you." Lin Feng smiled slightly and said gently, "Hubby, you're so nice." Sumu Shue threw herself into Lin Feng's arms, her eyes suddenly becoming blurred. "Husband, do you want to Bobo with me?" Lin Feng thought he had heard it wrong. What his wife just said was to kiss her. Did I hear it right? Sumu Shue looked at Lin Feng and said in a delicate voice, "Yeah. Hubby, you heard it right. You were pretty awesome in the morning, weren't you?" As Sumu Shue spoke, her eyes narrowed into 2 crescents. She stretched out her hands, hooked them around Lin Feng's neck, and offered her red lips. Lin Feng was a little flattered. This was his wife, and it was the first time she took the initiative to ask for a kiss. "Wife? Are you serious?" Lin Feng asked excitedly. Sumu Shue nodded and pouted. Lin Feng was delighted and was about to bend down to kiss Sumu Shue. But at this moment, Sumu Shue suddenly broke free and started giggling. "Har har har, hubby, I'm just teasing you. You really want to do this?" To be honest, although Sumu Shue and Lin Feng are already married. Moreover, in the past 2 days, under Lin Feng's intense offensive, the two of them had done everything. Except for not taking the last step, Sumu Shue can be said to have been completely conquered by Lin Feng. However, Sumu Shue still didn't know how to get along with Lin Feng. So, in the afternoon, she secretly watched some videos on the internet. That is how to maintain intimacy between husband and wife. The video mentions that if you want your husband to continue to be sexually interested in you, then you have to tease him from time to time. Judging from the practice just now, the effect seems to be quite good. It seems that I need to improve my knowledge in this area in the future. Although she is very confident in her charm. But it never hurts to learn more. "Wife, I find that you are becoming more and more naughty now. You dare to play tricks on me," Lin Feng said with some embarrassment. He originally thought it was nothing, but then Sumu Shue did this to him. He felt that he must kiss her. Seeing that the situation was not good, Sumu Shue quickly showed weakness. "Hubby, I really didn't mean to play tricks on you. I learned it from watching a video, and I want to put it into practice with you." Lin Feng didn't care about that and hugged Sumu Shue. He pressed her against the wall and sealed her mouth tightly. Husband. Don't bite me. I know I was wrong, please let me go." Sumu Shue was kissed so hard by Lin Feng that she was a little breathless and quickly begged for mercy. He. See if you dare to do it again next time." Seeing Sumu Shue begging for mercy, Lin Feng let her go. He turned around and sat on the sofa, took out his cell phone and started reading messages. Sumu Shue's pretty face flushed red, and she looked at Lin Feng somewhat embarrassedly, then returned to her desk and began to deal with documents absent-mindedly. Lin Feng was browsing WeChat and saw that many classmates had sent him their blessings. "I wish him and Sumu Shue a happy wedding. Lin Feng is quite popular. Whether in high school or college, I have a lot of friends. Especially the high school friends. When they heard that Lin Feng was proposed to by the school beauty, they were all shocked. It seems that being handsome is really popular." Sumu Shue sat in the office chair, looking up at Lin Feng from time to time. The corners of her mouth rose slightly and she began to mutter in her heart. "This stupid husband. Because you're so nice to me. Tonight, I will obey you." 5 minutes later. Sumu Shue finally finished their work. She stood up, stretched, and said to Lin Feng, "Honey, I'm done, let's go. My sister's office is downstairs." Under the leadership of Sumu Shue, the two went to the 7th floor together. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. This is where the marketing department is located. But when I entered the office, I found that Suanchi was not there at all. After some inquiries, I found out that Suanchi went to the conference room on the 6th floor for a meeting. Just at this moment, Sumushue's cell phone rang. It was a message from Suanchi. Mushue, I'm sorry. You and Lin Feng should go to the restaurant first. I have a meeting here that will not be over for another half an hour. I'll come straight to you guys after I finish the meeting. Sumushue replied with an okay expression and then said to Lin Feng. Honey, my sister is in a meeting. Let's go first. It just so happened that Sumushue planned to take advantage of this gap to take Lin Feng to the lottery shop. Because she knew that she could just give him the money directly. He won't accept it. So I can only rely on lottery. When the time comes, I will lie to my husband and say that he has won the lottery. Transfer all your savings to your husband's card. Let him take this money as a gift to himself to deceive. Oh no, it's about getting 10 times the financing from my father, so that the company won't have to worry about funds. All the savings I have now, added together, should be around 5 million. If it is returned tenfold, that would be 50 million. A full half of a small goal. This money should be enough to start a business, right? If it is not enough, then I will ask my dad to give me a few houses as a dowry. No matter who suffers, your husband must not suffer. Thinking of this, a sly smile appeared on Sumushue's face. If Su Jungwo knew that Sumushue had cheated him like this, his heart would probably bleed. It seems that my little cotton jacket is not only leaking air. And what is leaking is the typhoon. Chapter 15, Show affection in front of sister. Bite. System task released. Host and Sumushue, please change into couple outfits and go meet Suanchi. Make your wife feel happy and show your affection in front of your aunt. When the task is completed, you will receive a random skill reward. Just arrived downstairs of the company. The voice of the system came into Lin Feng's mind. However, the task issued by the system this time made him feel a little at a loss. In the past, cooking and getting a certificate were not difficult. But this time, the task was issued by the system. It's a bit outrageous indeed. The first time you meet your wife's sister, you have to show your affection in front of her. And they have to wear couple outfits. Wouldn't this be a bit inappropriate? Generally speaking, when meeting the woman's relatives, the man will try to be as low-key as possible. After all, that way you can show that you respect the other person. And others will not think that you are a frivolous person. Only then can I entrust my sister to you with confidence. But if you wear couple outfits, is it a bit too high profile? If my aunt sees this, she won't misunderstand me, right? Lin Feng hesitated for a moment, but finally made a decision. There is no way, the reward is too tempting. If it is exchanged for cash, Lin Feng still has to struggle for a while. But this time, the reward is a random skill. If you have a more powerful skill, it cannot be measured by money. Besides, isn't it just wearing couple outfits with my wife and having a meal with my aunt? I haven't done anything immoral. I'm not afraid of a hammer. Lin Feng remembered that there was a large shopping mall nearby. I'll find a chance to go over and buy 2 couple outfits for them later. With my wife's silly personality, there's no problem with asking her to wear couple outfits, or even romantic outfits. At this moment, Sumushue was thinking only about the lottery. She looked at Lin Feng and said, Honey, there's a lottery shop up ahead, shall we go in and take a look? Why go to the lottery shop? Lin Feng asked with some confusion. Hubby, you don't understand this, do you? There is such a custom in our Binhai business community. That is, whenever a new company opens, it must go to the lottery shop and buy a lottery ticket. This will not only bring good fortune, but also bless the new company, so that everything will go smoothly in the future. Hearing Sumushue talking nonsense, Lin Feng showed a helpless expression. What on earth is my wife's brain made of? Are you fooling around here? Is there really anyone who would believe such outrageous words? But Lin Feng was too lazy to expose her and said with a smile. Okay. Then let's go in and buy one. After entering the lottery shop, Sumushue directly bought hundreds of welfare lottery tickets. She stuffed all the lottery tickets into her bag, then took Lin Feng's hand and walked outside. Lin Feng didn't care about this matter either. Because Lin Feng knew that there was no way he could win the prize. Welfare lottery, it starts with the word welfare, don't you understand? It's never your turn to win the lottery. I just don't know why my wife buys so many lottery tickets. Lin Feng looked at Sumushue and said, Wife, it's still early, why don't we go shopping in the mall? Har. Going shopping at this time? Sumushua hesitated for a moment and said. Honey, my sister will be here soon. Let's go to the restaurant and reserve a table first. If we go too late, we'll probably have to queue. Lin Feng shook his head and said in a deep voice, I want to buy couples' clothes. What? Buying couples' outfits? Sumushua was completely stunned. She stared at Lin Feng with wide eyes, her face full of shock. Yeah, we'll look good in couple outfits. Don't you want to wear it? Lin Feng said with a smile. Yes. Of course I do. Sumushua nodded hurriedly. She took Lin Feng's arm and said excitedly. Hubby, let's go buy couple outfits. Just in front of my sister, let me show off. Lin Feng's proposal coincided with Sumushua's idea. A few minutes later, Lin Feng and Sumushua arrived at the nearby large shopping mall. The two of them picked and chose and finally bought a set of couple outfits. There is a big dog head printed on the couple's outfit. There is another sentence next to the dog head. Hey, your dog food. Hey, eat the dog food. It's infuriating and provocative just to watch. Sumushua fell in love with this dress at first sight. Honey, let's buy this set. Leaving the mall, the two wore their newly bought couple outfits. Holding hands, they walked towards the restaurant while chatting. Along the way, it attracted countless people's attention. Especially the words on the clothes. Let those single guys feel full of malice. The most important thing is that both Lin Feng and Sumushua are very good looking. Standing together, they are simply a match made in heaven. Moreover, Lin Feng looks gentle and elegant. He has captured the hearts of countless young girls. Seeing this, those single women feel heartbroken. On their way to the restaurant, Sumushua's cell phone suddenly rang. It was Suanchi calling. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. Mushue, where are you? Didn't I tell you to go to the restaurant first? How come I'm here now but you guys are nowhere to be seen? Sumushua looked at the time. More than half an hour had passed since they left the company. She said a little embarrassedly, Sister, I'm sorry. Lin Feng and I had something to do, so we were delayed for a while. We'll be there now. Hearing this, Suanchi was speechless. It's so unreliable. All right, come here quickly. It was at the private restaurant where I had lunch with my mother this afternoon. Sumushua replied, Okay, we'll be there soon, don't worry. After hanging up the phone, Sumushua looked at Lin Feng and said, Hubby, we just bought clothes and it took too long. My sister is already in the restaurant, let's go over there. Lin Feng nodded, then let's go. Lin Feng took Sumushua's hand and walked straight towards the restaurant. Just then, several girls came towards us. They were wearing hip-length skirts, revealing their long, white legs. They looked full of energy and were obviously college students. Sisters, look quickly, isn't that school beauty Su and senior Lin Feng? Really? Why are they here? And are they wearing matching outfits? Wow, they are so in love, they are really showing off to me. Several girls gathered together, chattering and looking at Lin Feng and Sumushua. One of the girls even took out her cell phone and took a few photos secretly. Sent to the class group. In less than 10 seconds, their whole class exploded. Especially those male classmates, even though Sumushua is 1 year older than them. But many people have tried to pursue Sumushua. But she rejected them all, and Sumushua even declared that she didn't want to have a relationship during her 4 years in college. But no one expected that something like this would happen at the graduation ceremony. School beauty Su proposed in public and broke her own vow. They also made the official announcement on the same day and posted a selfie holding their marriage certificate on their WeChat moments. The students of Binhai University were fed a lot of dog food. The dog food in the stomach hasn't been digested yet. You two are still coming? This is not letting people live. The other side. Lin Feng and Sumushua came to the private restaurant. They opened the door and walked straight in. Soon he found Suanchi in the corner. They held hands and sat down in front of her. Suanchi looked at Lin Feng and Sumushua's clothes and was completely stunned. Especially those two big dog heads. And the text below. Hey, your dog food. Hey, eat the dog food. Chapter 16 I'm full of dog food. Are you guys wearing couple costumes? Seeing the scene in front of her, Suanchi felt as if she had suffered a critical hit of billions of points. She was stunned for a moment. This dress is so infuriating. Very unfriendly to singles. But to be honest, Lin Feng and Sumushua look quite a good match after putting on couple outfits. The two of them sitting together look like a couple. And you can see that there is a strong love between the two of them. Lin Feng is also much more handsome than he looks in the photo. Suanchi could not refute this. But, finding a husband is not like choosing an idol. You can't just rely on your face. The most important thing is to see how Lin Feng treats his sister. After all, beautiful appearance is monotonous and cannot stand the test of time. When two people live together, only good character and good personality can keep them going. So, for the sake of my sister and her future happy life, Suanchi decided to take a closer look at her brother-in-law later. She wanted to see whether this Lin Feng was as good as Mu Shui said. Honey, let me introduce you, this is my elder sister, Suanchi. She is the vice president of our Su group and also the director of the marketing department. As for me, you just saw that I am the person in charge of the project department. I am responsible for product development, and she is responsible for product sales. After Sumushua finished speaking, he introduced to Sumushua, sister, this is my husband, Lin Feng. Lin Feng glanced at Suanchi and said with a smile. Hello, Sister Anchi. Suanchi nodded politely to Lin Feng. Although Suanchi and Sumushua are sisters, their styles are very different. Suanchi has a sexy and mature style, with a tall and plump figure. Wearing an OL uniform and two slender legs, she looks particularly attractive. Sumushua has a pure and cute style and looks like she is easy to bully. Although at work, Sumushua acts like a strong woman. But this is just her protective color. In private, Sumushua is still very cute. She is the type of girl next door who can easily arouse men's desire to protect her. Otherwise, the employees in the company would not call the two sisters by two different names. When seeing Sumushua, most employees would call her Sister Mushua. But when it came to Suanchi, no one dared to call her by her name, and everyone changed it to General Manager Su. From this we can see the huge difference between the two sisters. How's it going, sis? Are you impressed by my husband's handsomeness? Sumushua held Lin Feng's arm with a smug look on her face. Suanchi rolled her eyes and was about to speak. Just then, the waiters brought the dishes up one after another. Suanchi had already ordered the dishes before they came over. Suanchi knows her sisters taste very well. But she didn't know much about Lin Feng. But the dishes she ordered were all home-cooked, which should suit most people's tastes. Lin Feng, I ordered some home-cooked dishes. Look, if there's anything you want to eat, you can keep adding more. As she spoke, Suanchi picked up the menu and handed it over. Lin Feng waved his hand and said, no, these dishes are quite to my liking. While the two were talking, Sumushua had already picked up the chopsticks and secretly took a bite. But soon, she put down her chopsticks. A look of disgust. What's wrong? Is it not delicious? Seeing this scene, Suanchi asked with some confusion. It's okay, but after tasting my husband's cooking this morning, I just feel like what the food outside is like. It's like, a little hard to swallow. Hard to swallow. Hearing this, Suanchi twitched her lips and said in disbelief. Aren't you exaggerating a bit? In fact, Sumushua was not exaggerating. Maybe it's because I'm tired of eating so much meat and fish. That's why ordinary ramen tastes so good. Moreover, this was the loving breakfast that Lin Feng made for him personally. At least in terms of attitude, we have already won a big victory. When men and women are in love, even instant noodles will feel delicious. But for a single guy, even if you let him eat all the delicacies from land and sea, he will still feel that something is missing. This is what it means, love is enough to satisfy one's hunger, while heartlessness is enough to keep one's golden house cold. Of course, the two cannot be compared. Wife, do you want to try this? Although the food outside can't compare to your husband's cooking. But no matter what, you can't let yourself go hungry, right? Lin Feng picked up a piece of meat and put it into Sumushua's mouth. Be careful, it's hot. Sumushua quickly opened her mouth and ate the slice of meat. His face was filled with happiness. Seeing this scene, Suanchi's face became gloomy again. I can't help but feel a sour feeling in my heart. The main reason she asked Lin Feng to come out today was to inspect her brother-in-law. But she didn't let you show your affection so wildly in front of her. The chopsticks haven't been moved yet. I'm almost full from eating your dog food. Seeing this, Sumushua also picked up the soup spoon and brought it to Lin Feng's mouth. Hubby, you eat too. Open your mouth, let me feed you. Suanchi saw it all and was angry, but there was nothing she could do. She now began to regret why she had agreed to Sumushua's request to accompany her to dinner with Lin Feng. This is simply asking for humiliation. The two of you, wearing couple outfits, holding hands. Sitting opposite me, they fed each other in a sweet and affectionate manner. As a single guy, I can only look at the two dog heads on your clothes. And those two provocative words. It's so infuriating. At this time, the customers in the restaurant also looked over here. Seeing Sumushua and Lin Feng, they are a perfect match. Most people had envious expressions on their faces. But when he looked at Suanchi, the envy on his face turned into sympathy. Look at this person, she looks like a light bulb. So, I haven't finished my meal yet. Suanchi made an excuse that she had something to do and left the restaurant first. She couldn't stay in a place like this for even a second. Next time, even if they beat her to death, she would not come to eat with the two of them alone. Good job. The meal hasn't started yet. I'm almost full just from eating the dog food from you two. Who wouldn't be angry? Chapter 17 Lin Feng's parents. On the way back, Sumushua held Lin Feng's arm. Hubby, you performed well just now, I want to reward you. Lin Feng touched his nose and asked softly. What are you going to reward me with? I won't tell you yet, you will know when the time comes. Sumushua pretended to be mysterious and continued, by the way, my mother asked me to go out for lunch today at noon. Before leaving, she asked me to ask you for the phone numbers of my parents-in-law. What? I need to talk to them about the wedding. Although we have obtained the marriage certificate, we haven't even had the wedding or banquet yet. Let the two adults handle these trivial matters. Lin Feng nodded, then took out his cell phone and said. Okay. I'll read it to you and you write it down. Lin Feng opened the address book and read out his parents' cell phone numbers. Sumushua wrote it down and sent the number to Zhao Yalan. Then she opened WeChat again. I searched for Lin Feng's mother's account and applied to add her as a friend. Because I have her cell phone number, it's easy to find her. The main reason why she wanted to add Lin Feng's mother's WeChat was because, after a while, Lin Feng will take her home. She wanted to take advantage of this time to get along well with her mother-in-law. When we meet, I won't be shy. After adding WeChat, Sumushua typed a few words and sent it. Hello, Auntie. My name is Sumushua. I am your son Lin Feng's wife. Lin Feng's mother's name is Wen Yue and his father's name is Lin Weiman. Both of them are working class people, working in the county town under Binhai City. At this moment, the two had just returned home. Wen Yue saw that someone added her WeChat. At first, she thought it was a new colleague in the unit. Unexpectedly, the other party turned out to be his daughter-in-law. Wen Yue immediately opened Sumushua's circle of friends and started reading. In the past few days, Sumushua posted several messages on WeChat Moments. They are all related to Lin Feng. Moreover, the background of her circle of friends is also a photo of her and Lin Feng. It seems that the other person is indeed his daughter-in-law. 2 days ago, when she found out that Lin Feng and Sumushua were getting married, the whole person was a little confused. She is very clear about the conditions of her own family. She never thought that her son would be able to marry such a beautiful wife. And she is the second princess of the Su Group. The Su Group can be said to be the leader in the beauty industry in Binhai City. Create tens of thousands of jobs for the city every year. Even the city leaders had to be polite when meeting Su Jiongwo. Seeing that Wen Yue didn't reply for a long time, Sumushua couldn't help but ask. Auntie, are you there? Wen Yue reacted quickly and typed a reply. Mushua, I'm here. And don't call me auntie, call me mom. Call mom. When Sumushua saw the message sent by Wen Yue, she was completely stunned. Originally, she was still worried. Does my mother-in-law dislike me? It's been such a long time since I added him as my friend, but he never replied to my messages. But unexpectedly, when she opened her mouth, she went straight to the point and asked her to change her address. With such enthusiasm, what is there to worry about? So, Sumushua edited the text immediately and sent a reply. Okay mom. After saying that, he also made a shy expression. Seeing this, Wang Yui stood up excitedly with an anti-smile on her face. At this time, Lin Weiman also came out of the kitchen. He noticed something was wrong with Wang Yui. "Wife, are you chatting with your son? So happy." "Wife. I'm talking to you, can you hear me?" Wang Yui was standing in the living room, busy chatting with Sumu Shue. "I don't have time to deal with Lin Weiman. What are you yelling about? Have you cooked yet? Go and cook. Can't you see that I'm having a great time chatting with my daughter-in-law?" When he heard the word daughter-in-law, Lin Weiman's eyes suddenly lit up and he hurried over. He said excitedly, "What daughter-in-law? Is she the girl who married Lin Feng?" Ever since Lin Feng posted his marriage certificate on his Moments, almost all of Lin's relatives were shocked. Especially Lin Feng's aunt and his second cousin. They called one after another to ask Lin Weiman what was going on with Lin Feng. At that time, Lin Weiman and the other man were also confused. They didn't even know that Lin Feng was married. Their reactions were exactly the same as Sumu Shue's parents. Therefore, in the past 2 days, they have been calling Lin Feng non-stop, asking him to bring his wife home. Let them take a good look at what their daughter-in-law looks like. "Wife, tell our future daughter-in-law. Ask her when she is free, and ask her to come home with Lin Feng. Just say we want to see her." Wang Yui rolled her eyes at him and said, "What future daughter-in-law? Mu Shui is our daughter-in-law, okay. They've already got the marriage certificate." Lin Weiman quickly clapped his hands and said, yes, I was wrong." Just then, Sumu Shue sent a series of messages. "Mom, I added you on WeChat. Actually, there is something I want to tell you. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Haven't Lin Feng and I already obtained our marriage certificate? But we haven't held the wedding yet. My mom said she wanted to talk to you about the wedding. I will go back with Lin Feng in a few days and bring you gifts. You can tell me what you like." Seeing the message sent by Sumu Shue, Wang Yui quickly typed a reply. "No need to bother, it's good enough if you're here. If you must bring a gift, then bring me a grandson, and I'll be satisfied." After sending the message, Wang Yui felt that it was a little inappropriate. I quickly retracted the last sentence. But Sumu Shue still saw it. "It seems that my parents-in-law still like me very much. We just got married and we're already pushing for a baby." Thinking of this, a sweet smile appeared on Sumu Shue's face. "Honey, who are you talking to? Such a happy smile." Seeing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. Sumu Shue smiled and said, "I'm chatting with our mother." "Our mom?" Sumu Shue nodded, "Yes, it's our mother." After saying that, she raised her phone and showed Lin Feng the chat interface. "Wife, you can do it. You hooked up with my mom so quickly." Sumu Shue glared at Lin Feng and said coquettishly, "Can you speak?" "Forget it, I'm too lazy to argue with you, but husband. You need to work harder recently and take care of the company's affairs. Then take me to meet my parents-in-law as soon as possible. They seem to like me very much." When she said this, Sumu Shue's face was filled with anticipation. Lin Feng nodded and smiled, "Okay." After returning home, Sumu Shue took out her cell phone and started watching TikTok. Unexpectedly, while scrolling, I actually saw myself and Lin Feng. "Hubby, come and see. I don't know who secretly filmed the video of us wearing couple outfits. I even posted it on TikTok, and it already has hundreds of thousands of likes. Although secretly taking photos is shameful, I have to say that the photos are pretty good." Sumu Shue long pressed to save. "Save this video in the album. Honey, let me cast the video to your phone." Lin Feng took the bath towel and replied, "The phone is on the table, please help me vote." After saying that, Lin Feng walked into the bathroom. Sumu Shue picked up the phone and began to feel a little troubled. Because she didn't know what Lin Feng's cell phone password was. Could it be my husband's birthday? Or some anniversary? Sumu Shue entered it several times according to her own ideas. But it shows the password is wrong. In the end, Sumu Shue decided to give it a try. Enter the date when I got my marriage certificate yesterday. Unexpectedly, it succeeded. A smile suddenly appeared on Sumu Shue's face. Hey. It seems that my husband still cares about me very much." She silently took out her cell phone and changed the password to the date when she got the marriage certificate yesterday. At this time, in the bathroom, Lin Feng was lying in the bathtub, enjoying a nice bath. Suddenly, the system voice sounded. Bite. Congratulations to their host for completing their wear couple outfits to show affection mission. Bonus skill, exposure bonus. Chapter 18. The company is on the right track. The next time, Lin Feng goes out early and comes back late every day. After his hard work over the past few days, he finally recruited hundreds of employees. Let Fengshan Technology successfully get on the right track. As a technology company, Fengshan Technology is divided into 5 departments in total. They are Human Resources Department, Finance Department, Technology Department, Product Department and Marketing Department. Hundreds of employees, divided up. Each department can only be assigned about 20 people. Next, we need to continue to expand recruitment and recruit more talents to Fengshan Technology. This morning, Lin Feng held a meeting within the company. At the meeting, Lin Feng made a major decision and set a grand goal for the company. Now Fengshan Technology has officially stepped onto the right track. Next, I hope everyone can work harder and strive to achieve this goal within half a year. Develop a domestic operating system, then bring it to market and replace foreign systems. Lin Feng said in a resounding voice. After hearing this, everyone looked at each other in bewilderment. I could hardly believe my ears. Develop a domestic operating system within half a year? And we have to replace foreign systems. The boss is crazy. You know, in the field of computer operating systems, foreign countries have been leading for more than 20 years and have formed a huge user ecosystem. We want to develop a domestic system within half a year and replace the foreign system. This is simply a foolish dream. Even if it was Xiao Bushi's reincarnation, that was impossible. Over the past 2 decades, many large domestic internet companies have attempted to develop domestic operating systems. But in the end, everything ended in failure. And the defeat was complete. So, in the technology circle, everyone sticks to the same rule. That is to do the internet. You can do whatever you want, but don't do operating systems. Because everyone knows that this is absolutely impossible to achieve. Boss, are you sure you want to do this? Our company has just been established and is in its infancy. Whether it's making games, software, or live streaming, it's all possible. But if we start with operating systems, that's a bit too much. Inside the office, a department manager stood up and tried to persuade him. In fact, what he said makes a lot of sense. As an employee, he was willing to risk being fired and stand up to dissuade Lin Feng. He is also a good employee who does his job conscientiously. Hearing this, Lin Feng smiled faintly and said, I know this task seems a bit difficult. After all, it takes a lot of time just to develop the system. But I have saved you this time. After saying that, Lin Feng picked up a stack of folders from the table. It was densely packed with hundreds of documents. They are all data sources. And that's just part of it. There are a lot of key source codes stored in Lin Feng's mind. He planned to wait until the last moment and then input it himself. After all, this thing is the core of the company. He doesn't want the system to be leaked before it is developed. Lin Feng randomly pulled out a file and said, these are the source codes of the operating system. You can take a look. Hearing this, everyone was stunned. The source code of the operating system. How is this possible? The employees present looked at Lin Feng in shock. Especially the programmers in the technical department, they looked at Lin Feng as if they were looking at God. Others may not know what source code means. But they are extremely clear. As long as you have the source code, it is equivalent to having a standard answer in your hand during the exam. Just copy it and you're done. Not only convenient but also trouble-free. And you can hand in a perfect answer sheet very quickly. However, how did General Lin get the system source code? You know, the difficulty of developing an operating system is extremely high. Even for large internet companies in Longwa, it would take at least 3 to 5 years to develop a mature system. But Mr. Lin actually said that he already has the source code. How did he do it? Everyone was confused. At this time, Lin Feng waved his hand and spoke slowly. Also, I want to tell you this. This system is our Dragon country's operating system, compiled entirely in Chinese. Programming in Chinese has its natural advantages. Not only will the threshold for programming be lowered, but many bugs that appear in English compilations simply do not exist in Chinese compilations. So, I want to launch this domestic operating system within half a year. By then, we will not only occupy the dragon country market, and we need to go overseas and break the US monopoly that has lasted for more than 20 years. Hearing Lin Feng's words, the employees present were deeply touched. After all, these people all come from the internet and technology fields. In terms of technology, Long Country lags far behind the United States. Therefore, having a mature domestic system is of utmost importance. After all, now is the age of the internet, if you don't have your own operating system. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. Long-term dependence on foreign countries is not a good thing. Therefore, everyone present supported Lin Feng's move. Many employees on site are ready for a hard fight in the next 6 months. If we can really develop a domestic operating system and break the US monopoly, this is also a happy thing for Longhua. By then, the name of Fengshan Technology Company will be known throughout the world. They are also proud of it. Seeing the angry employees in the office, Lin Feng continued. As for the name of our system, I would like to temporarily name it the Fengshan system. On the one hand, we use the company name to increase the company's visibility. On the other hand, I also hope that this system can sweep the world like a gust of wind. Let those foreigners know that our dragon country's technology is not much worse than theirs. This is what Lin Feng really thinks. This was also his original intention in founding this company. When Lin Feng finished speaking, the entire conference room burst into applause. At this moment, these employees admired Lin Feng to the extreme. They never thought that which boss would have such great ambitions. Compared with those bosses in China who only know how to exploit their employees, Lin Feng is simply a saint. Everyone started discussing in low voices below. Let alone anything else, I am impressed by Mr. Lin's courage alone. I am more than convinced, I am simply in awe of you. Compared to our CEO Lin, those vampire bosses in the country are nothing but maggots. That's right. Mr. Lin's salary and benefits are all based on the highest standards in the industry. Work from 9 to 5, have weekends off, and get double pay at the end of the year. If this is posted online, those office workers will be so envious. Let's not talk about it for now. I'll post a message and show it off. Chapter 19 won the lottery. After leaving the meeting room, some employees who like to show off immediately posted something online. The content of the post is nothing more than showing off the salary and a humane company system. Not long after the post was published, it was reposted hundreds of thousands of times. An hour later, this post topped the trending search lists on major social media platforms. Even the official media stepped in to praise Fengshan Technology. After reading this post, netizens were shocked. They started to post comments. Oh my god! What kind of magical company is this? 9 to 5, weekends off, and no need to punch in. The minimum wage for employees starts at 20,000, and for programmers it's 50,000. After becoming a regular employee, I will receive housing allowance, vehicle allowance and medical allowance every month, and double salary at the end of the year. The most outrageous thing is that after employees join the company, as long as their performance meets the standards, the company will reward them with an 80 square meter house. Is this a scam company? The benefits are even better than Tencent's. Comments under the trending searches. Most people are questioning whether this company is a scam, because they have never heard of a large domestic company called Fengshan Technology. In their opinion, a company that can offer such generous benefits must be one of the top companies in the country. But some people also think that this company is very reliable. At least the official media has come out to praise it. Another small number of people prepared their resumes overnight and secretly sent them to the recruitment email address of Fengshan Technology. After all, the salary offered by Fengshan Technology is really tempting. Lin Feng was not aware of this. After get off work in the evening, he went to Su Group to pick up Sumushua after get off work. Arrived downstairs of Su Group, Lin Feng discovered that Sumushua had been waiting at the door. Seeing Lin Feng appear, Sumushua hurried over and hugged Lin Feng's arm. Honey, why are you so late today? Lin Feng smiled and said, I had something to do at the company today, so I was delayed. Come on, let's go home. What would you like to eat tonight? Sumushua raised her head, thought for a moment, and then said the name of the dish she wanted to eat. Then she continued. That's right, husband. Did you receive a bank transfer message this afternoon? Bank transfer information. Lin Feng recalled, "It seems not. The company officially opens today, and there are many things waiting for him to deal with." So Lin Feng had no time to look at his phone. After get off work, he went directly to Su Group to pick up his wife from get off work. Now listen to what Su Mushua said. Lin Feng immediately took out his mobile phone and opened it to take a look. "I found that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there was indeed a bank transfer message." He clicked on the message and read it carefully. Not long after, "I was totally confused. Because it's clearly written above. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, I received a transfer of 20 million. Lin Feng was a little confused. He remembered that the system did not give him any reward today. How could there be a transfer of 20 million for no apparent reason? Moreover, the transferor is in the name of a company. What is it called? Spark Media Company. Lin Feng frowned, looked at Su Mushua and asked, "Wife, I did receive a transfer of 20 million. What on earth is going on?" Facing Lin Feng's question, Su Mushua was a little panicked, but she quickly calmed down. Lin Feng wanted to start a business, but refused to accept his help. So Su Mushua could only settle for the second best. The idea was to target Su Jungwo. He wanted to help Lin Feng make some money by using the bride price. 10 times of 20 million is 200 million. With this money, my husband won't have to worry about the funding chain. Only. Before I got the cash back from my dad. She absolutely could not tell Lin Feng about this. The only person who knows about this now is only one person. That is her college roommate, best friend, and chairman of Spark Media, Li Yao Yao. Half of the 20 million was paid by Su Mushua herself. The other half was borrowed from her best friend Li Yao Yao. In the morning, Su Mushua transferred the money to Li Yao Yao and asked her to transfer it to Lin Feng's bank card in the name of the company. If Su Mushua transferred the money directly to Lin Feng, he will definitely find out. So, Su Mushua could only explain with a smile. "Honey, this is what I forgot to tell you. Do you remember a few days ago when you just registered the company? Aren't we having dinner with my sister?" Lin Feng nodded, "Yes, then what?" Su Mushua looked at Lin Feng and continued. "And then, didn't we go into a lottery shop and buy some lottery tickets? Last night was the day when the lottery was drawn. You won the special prize, 20 million. Lin Feng was a little bit unbelievable. Won the special prize? 20 million. Is this true or false? Lin Feng found it a little unbelievable. Aren't lottery tickets all predetermined? How is it possible to win the prize? This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. Su Mushua pretended to be calm and nodded vigorously. Of course it's true. Besides, didn't you receive the bonus? Now that you've received it, don't think too much about it. Let's think about what to eat tonight, shall we? Su Mushua successfully changed the subject. Lin Feng nodded and said, "Okay, then what do you want to eat?" "I want to eat chopped pepper fish head, sweet and sour spare ribs, braised prawns, and hot pot chicken. How about we go buy some groceries now?" Lin Feng didn't think much. "Okay." Su Mushua took out the car keys. He walked to a Mercedes-Benz and said to Lin Feng with a smile, "Hubby, get in the car." Su Mushua drove towards the villa. There is a Walmart right near the villa area. On their way back, Lin Feng continued to ask Su Mushua about the lottery. However, Su Mushua said she accidentally lost the lottery receipt. As for the winning lottery numbers, she also forgot and can't remember clearly. Lin Feng didn't expect that Su Mushua had even thought of an excuse. "It seems to be to support my own business." Su Mushua really put in a lot of effort. "Okay, husband. Don't be suspicious anymore. The bonus has already been given to you. Is there anything more real than money?" Lin Feng nodded. "Indeed, there is something wrong with what you said. But in your transfer information, the transferor is a film and television media company?" Lin Feng thought, even if you treat me as a fool, you can't fool me like this, right? However, Lin Feng is indeed short of money now. The company has just opened and is burning money every day. Although I know that my wife might be lying to me. But she was doing it for her own good, so Lin Feng didn't expose her. Chapter 20, Take the lead in cheating your father. Half an hour later, Lin Feng and his companion came to the supermarket and bought a bunch of food. After returning home, Lin Feng ran to the kitchen and started cooking dinner. Ever since I cooked for my wife last time and received 5 system rewards. After that, it seemed that the system no longer awarded attribute points. Lin Feng therefore concluded that there is an upper limit to the points the system can add when doing the same thing. And the upper limit will be different for different things. But it makes sense, if I could add points infinitely. Wouldn't it be easy to reach the maximum level? After the meal was ready, the two sat at the dining table, eating and chatting. Hubby, at noon today. My mother has already spoken to my mother-in-law on the phone, and they have discussed the wedding. My dad said that after we get married, he will give us a house in the center of Binhai City. Not counting the one we live in now. By then, he will also buy us a Porsche Panamera. As for the betrothal gift, he said that 100,000 yuan would be enough, but I think that giving such a small betrothal gift seems a bit too much for you. Lin Feng had no problem understanding the first few sentences. But the last sentence. What do you mean it's a bit of a loss for me? With a dowry of 100,000 yuan, you can marry a wife like Su Xiaohua. Is this a business that is sure to make money? Moreover, Su Mushue's family also received a house and a car as a gift. The market price of that Porsche Panamera alone is over $1 million. As for the houses in the city center of Binhai, it goes without saying that they cost at least 7 or 8 million. Not to mention a betrothal gift of 100,000 yuan, even if it was 1 million yuan, Lin Feng would feel that it was not a loss. Seeing Lin Feng's puzzled look, Su Mushue continued. Hubby, you don't know. My dad told me before that we should get married. No matter how much you give as a betrothal gift, he will return it tenfold. This is the only way to show the face of our Su family. So I think that a betrothal gift of 100,000 yuan is too little, and it's a big loss for you. Why don't you give the 20 million bonus to my dad as a gift? In this way, won't you be able to get a cashback of 200 million? After hearing what Su Mushue said, Lin Feng's face suddenly turned black. I couldn't help but say it in my heart. Wife. You are truly a filial daughter of our time. Not only filial, but also extremely smart. But to be honest, I heard Su Mushue's proposal. Lin Feng was indeed a little tempted. After all, Fengshan technology was just starting out and needed money everywhere. The system only rewarded him with technology, but did not give him much startup capital. With just the 10 million, it would probably be burned out in no time. If we have these 200 million, the development speed of Fengshan technology will definitely be much faster. It can also save a lot of trouble. But no matter what, Su Jungwo is still his father-in-law. This is how to trick him. Doesn't that seem a bit bad? Su Mushue seemed to see Lin Feng's hesitation and said with a smile. Hubby, don't worry. My dad is a very stingy person. This time, I finally got my mother to persuade me to return 10 times the betrothal gift. We can't be polite to him. Besides, if you give more betrothal gifts, it can also show your sincerity. My dad will be very happy when he sees this. After listening to Su Mushue's analysis, Lin Feng was completely speechless. If it were someone else. If she received a betrothal gift of 20 million, she would definitely be grinning from ear to ear. But if it were Su Jungwo, it would be different. When marrying off one's daughter, not only does one have to give a house and a car, but one also has to return 10 times the betrothal gift. The most important thing is that the daughter took the lead in cheating her father and instigated her son-in-law to make money for herself. If Su Jungwo knew this, he would probably faint from anger. What a filial daughter of our time. I am almost dying of filial piety to him. At this time, Su Mushue continued to persuade. Husband, when starting a business, the most important thing you need is money. Just like the hot search I just saw, it seems to be about our Binhai city, there is a company called Fengshan Technology. It just opened, too. It's in Binhai Creative Park, not far from your company. The benefits they offer to their employees are so good. We work from 9 to 5, with weekends off, and we don't have to punch in. Our employees are paid the highest salary in the industry. And the most outrageous thing is that the company will reward employees with housing depending on the situation. Just this evening, an employee posted something online to show off. In less than half an hour, it became a hot search on Weibo and TikTok. A lot of people want to apply for this company. After hearing what Su Mushue said, Lin Feng was stunned for a moment. Airless technology? Isn't this your own company? Lin Feng really didn't know that such a thing happened on the internet. Wife, please show me. Sumushua handed the phone to Lin Feng. She only knew that Lin Feng opened a company in Binhai Creative Park. But she didn't know the exact location or the name of the company. Sumushua said, "Husband, now you understand the importance of startup capital, right? Take Fengshen Technology for example. If he doesn't have enough funds, it's impossible for him to offer such a salary." My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. It's impossible for it to be on the trending search and give a lot of advertising to my company. If even the employees' wages cannot be guaranteed, then such a company will surely go bankrupt soon. So I repeatedly stress to you that you must have money to start a business, but you just refuse to use my money. But now it's all right. You won 20 million in the lottery. When the time comes, you can take this money and give it to my dad as a gift. Then, my dad will give you a cashback of 200 million as agreed. As long as you have these 200 million, you don't have to worry about the company failing. After hearing this, Lin Feng no longer thought about the 200 million. But I was wondering why company employees would post something casually. Could it cause such a sensation? Although the salary he offered was indeed much higher than that in the industry. But it shouldn't cause such a big sensation, right? Even the official media has been affected. But when Lin Feng thought about it carefully, it seemed to make sense. Because a few days ago, the system rewarded him with a skill called exposure bonus. As long as you have this skill, then you can know the events about Lin Feng and his company. You can get an exposure bonus. No matter what you do, you can become popular. Therefore, this employee's post on the internet attracted so much attention. In less than half an hour, it topped the trending searches on Weibo and TikTok. Even the official media came out and gave verbal praise to Fengshen Technology. Chapter 21 Mr. Lin is married? Think of this. Lin Feng opened the system panel. I checked my various attributes and talents. Host, Lin Feng. Gender, male. Age, 22. Strength, 5. Endurance, 5. Physical strength, 6. Agility, 3. Charm, 11. Cooking skills, 7 intermediate level, comparable to hotel chefs. Lucky, 3. Talented skills, super memory, poetic talent, masculine virility, hacking skills, protection for novice entrepreneurs, exposure bonus. Technology items, future computer systems. I didn't expect that I would acquire so many skills in just a few days. It seems that with a system, everything can be done conveniently. But aren't these basic attributes of mine a bit too low? Except for the charm value far exceeding that of ordinary people, his other attributes are not even comparable to ordinary people. Hubby, what are you standing there for? The food is getting cold, let's eat quickly. Sumushua said to Lin Feng with a smile. Lin Feng nodded, closed the system panel, and continued eating. Since my wife doesn't know yet, Fengshen Technology is my own company. Then Lin Feng didn't plan to tell her. After a while, the company develops the Fengshen system and successfully launches it on the market. It will surely cause a national sensation. By then, Sumushua will also learn about this matter through online media. This will surprise her more than just telling her directly. After all, Sumushua started her own business to support herself. She was not afraid of betraying her father at the cost of justice and even set her sights on her dad. So, Lin Feng also wanted to prove something. That is, her vision was not wrong. I am worthy of her trust. Moreover, even the 200 million yuan of funds from my father-in-law were not given to the wrong person. Once the company is established, the profits he can obtain will definitely not be less than 200 million. Thinking of this, Lin Feng secretly made a decision in his heart. After some time, he will give his wife a big surprise. As for Sumushua, she also had a little secret in her heart. That's the thing about that 20 million bonus. It would be fine if my husband knew about this. If her father knew that the 20 million yuan in betrothal gift was actually paid by his own daughter. Moreover, it was to cheat him out of his money. I wonder what expression Su Jungwo will have at that time. So I must keep this secret in my heart. We can't let either of them know. Especially my dad. If he knew about this, I would be in trouble. What's more, if things go wrong, my dad might even die from filial piety. The next day, after breakfast, Sumushua drove Lin Feng to work. Arriving at the entrepreneurship park, Lin Feng opened the car door and walked out. Sumushua waved at Lin Feng and said sweetly, "Bye, hubby. Remember to pick me up at the company when you get off work in the evening. We agreed last night that we would meet with my parents today to discuss the betrothal gift with them. If you're too embarrassed to speak up, I'll help you speak." Lin Feng said, "Wife, you are so good to me." "Of course. Okay, I'm going to go to work too." After Sumushua drove away, Lin Feng turned around and walked towards the company. As soon as he came downstairs, he met two employees of Fengshan Technology. They were wearing black uniforms and high heels, looking like office ladies. After seeing Lin Feng, a smile immediately appeared on his face and he greeted Lin Feng. "Mr. Lin, good morning." "Good morning." Lin Feng nodded and walked towards the company with them. After entering the company, Lin Feng went directly to the office and started dealing with work matters. The two female employees walked to the office area and chatted with their colleagues about gossip. Of course, they were all talking about Lin Feng. "Sisters, guess who I saw downstairs just now?" my colleagues asked with curious expressions. "Who is it?" "Our general manager Lin." The other colleagues snorted and were speechless. What's so surprising about seeing Mr. Lin? It's working hours now, and the company has just opened. Isn't it normal for Mr. Lin to come? Seeing their colleagues' disdainful looks, the two female employees immediately spoke. "Don't be so anxious, just listen to what we have to say. Let me tell you, we not only saw Mr. Lin, but we also saw Mr. Lin's wife. Boss Lin is actually married. You're so young, and you already have a wife. How is it? Are you surprised? Are you surprised?" Hearing this, the other colleagues were stunned and looked shocked. "You didn't see it wrong, did you?" "Absolutely not, we saw it with our own eyes just now downstairs." The other colleagues fell silent. They were thinking, "Mr. Lin is so young, he must not be married yet, maybe he doesn't even have a girlfriend. If they work harder, maybe they can marry Mr. Lin." But now, I heard this bad news. They were completely desperate. "By the way, what does Mr. Lin's wife look like? Does it look good?" Some female colleagues still asked without giving up. "She is very beautiful and has a great temperament. And he looks as young as Mr. Lin. He should have just graduated not long ago. Most importantly, you should also know this person. She seems to be the person in charge of the project department of Su Corporation, Sumushua. I worked as a marketing planner for the Su Group before and met her several times, so I was able to recognize her." Hearing Sumushua's name, the female colleagues present fell silent again. The Su Group is the leading enterprise in Binhai City and is extremely powerful. In the field of beauty industry, it is one of the top brands even in the whole country. Sumushua is the second princess of the Su Group and is deeply loved by Su Jungwo. She is a well-known young lady in the entire Binhai City. Since the second semester of her senior year, Sumushua gave up her job abroad, stayed in Su Group and worked as project manager. As a result, Su Group's performance soared, increasing by several percentage points. A goddess like her, who is extremely beautiful and has outstanding abilities, naturally has many people pursuing her. But unexpectedly, she got married. And the person she is going to marry is Mr. Lin from their company. Thinking of this, their hearts instantly turned cold. Compared with Sumushua, they are like ugly ducklings. Not only do you have no chance of winning, you don't even have the qualifications to compare. Chapter 22 I got a husband and forgot my best friend. The other side. Sumushua drove to Su Group. After parking the car, she walked into the elevator and came to the project department. Not long after she entered the door, the assistant ran over and said to her, "Sister Mushua, Mr. Li is in the office and has been waiting for you for a long time." Mr. Li as mentioned by the assistant. It's Su Mushua's best friend and college roommate Li Yao Yao. The company that transferred money to Lin Feng was owned by her family. After graduating from university, she took over her family's company and became the chairman of Spark Media. "Okay, I understand. Go and get busy." Sumushua nodded and said to the assistant. Then he walked towards his office. After entering the office, she saw a girl with short hair sitting in her seat. She was wearing hip-length shorts, revealing her slender, white legs and sexy waist. The whole person looks cold and sharp, which is completely different from Sumushua's delicate and beautiful personality. What a contrast! She is Sumushua's best friend during her 4 years in college. It's also my roommate Li Yao Yao. The two had a very good relationship. When they were in college, they were inseparable. Seeing Sumushua coming in, she immediately raised her head and complained. Mushue, where have you been? I've been waiting for you here for a long time. Sumushua closed the door and said with a guilty look. I'm sorry, Yao Yao. I just dropped my husband off at work, that's why I'm late. Hearing this, Li Yao Yao was completely shocked. What Sumushua said just now was. She sent Lin Feng to work. Are you kidding me? What kind of woman would send a man to work? Mushua, other people's husbands send their wives to work. You are so good, it's the other way around. But, having said that, did Lin Feng receive the 20 million I transferred to him yesterday? Sumushua nodded and replied, got it. Thank you, Yao Yao. I'll return the 10 million to you after my wedding. Li Yao Yao waved her hand and said indifferently. Mushue, that's our relationship. Why are you still saying thank you? You don't have to pay back the 10 million. But I have to say that you are really filial to your father. When you told me about this yesterday, I was completely stunned. If it were me, my dad would beat me to death. Sumushua looked a little embarrassed and lowered her head. You also said that's your father. My dad is so good to me, he can't bear to hit me. Besides, my husband's company just opened and he needs money right now. I think even if my dad knew, he would understand. Li Yao Yao smiled and shook her head, saying helplessly. Forget it, let's not talk about these things. But Mushue, I noticed that you seem to have changed after you got married. Do you remember when you were in college, the boys who chased you would circle the school 3 times? Many tall, rich and handsome men have pursued you passionately, but you rejected them all. At that time, I thought you were a lesbian and didn't like men. Having said this, Li Yao Yao paused. Make a scared expression. But I didn't expect it to happen just a few days ago. You actually told me that you and Lin Feng were married. Luckily I didn't attend the graduation ceremony, otherwise I would have stopped you. And you've only been married for a few days. How dare you set your sights on my uncle? Mushue, are you afraid that love has carried you to your head? Hearing what Li Yao Yao said, Sumushua had a speechless expression on her face. He shrugged and said a little embarrassedly. Yao Yao, it's not as exaggerated as you say. Besides, I'm married now and have my own family. Then I have to think about this family. What's the big deal? Li Yao Yao sighed and said helplessly. Forget it, this is your personal matter and I don't want to interfere. But, can you block me when you post on Moments next time? In the past few days, I've seen you guys showing off your affection every day. I'm almost full of dog food. Li Yao Yao looked distressed and continued. You know, I've been single for a long time. I can't bear to see this kind of thing. Just think of it as a favor and let me go. Hearing what Li Yao Yao said, Sumushua couldn't help but complain. Just pretend with me. People like you who go clubbing every day. Are you still short of men? It seems like you're partying every night. Li Yao Yao couldn't help but rolled her eyes and said depressedly. What do you know? I'm close to the lives of young people. How can people like us who work in the media get out of touch with the young people? Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's change the subject. Did you see the trending searches on Weibo yesterday? Sumushua nodded and said, you mean the hot search about function technology, right? Yes, as you know, our company is engaged in film and television programs. Recently, we started an online variety show. It's called Post-Noughties Clean Up the Workplace and Post-Noughties Who Are Being Cleaned Up. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. This trending search is particularly in line with the content of our program. I want to use it as material. So, I want our company's employees to interview the boss of function technology to confirm the authenticity of the hot search. Your Su family has a wide circle in Binhai City and has more connections than me. Can you help me contact the boss of function technology? I want to do an exclusive interview with him. Sumushua frowned, thought for a while and said. Okay, I'll ask for you. But whether they are willing or not is none of my business. Li Yao Yao smiled and said, it's okay, thank you, Mushue. What's there to thank for? You helped me yesterday, so I should do this. Sumushua made a phone call immediately. About 10 minutes passed. Li Yao Yao asked, Mushue, how is it? I found some friends in the creative park. They said that function technology was founded not long ago and the boss is elusive. No one has ever seen him, and no one has any contact information for him. But the things that are trending are all true. The benefits of their company are really good, and the employees are very motivated. Li Yao Yao nodded. Okay, I roughly understand. In that case, I can only do it myself. Go to Function Technology and do a live interview. Mu Shui, are you free now? Do you want to come with me? Su Mu Shui picked up the documents on the table, waved her hand and said, No, I have a lot of things to do. You should go by yourself, bye. Seeing this, Li Yao Yao couldn't help but shook her head and sighed. It's true that now that I have a husband, I forget about my best friends. If this had happened in the past, Li Yao Yao wouldn't even need to ask for her to go with him. But now, things are different. Forget it, I'll just go by myself. Li Yao Yao sighed, turned around and left the office. Rushing towards Function Technology. Chapter 23. Is it so complicated? 2 hours later. Li Yao Yao brought her filming team and headed straight to the Binhai Creative Park. For most companies, especially newly established technology companies, we will not boycott media interviews. Because what technology companies lack most is investment. If you want to get investment, you must have news guidance and get enough exposure. Li Yao Yao knew this, so she dared to bring the team here without saying hello. At this point, they had already set up the equipment and started the live broadcast. Hello everyone, I'm Bing Bing, a reporter from Spark Media. Yesterday there was a post about the company's treatment, which attracted the attention of many netizens and the media. Where I am now is the creative park where this company is located. Next, I will lead you to the inside of the company to find out what's going on. Check what is said in the post to see if it is true. As soon as the live broadcast room was opened, a large number of viewers flocked in immediately. Seeing this, Li Yao Yao was also shocked. She has taken over the company for more than half a year and has conducted countless live broadcasts. But never before have so many audiences come in all at once like today. You know, now is the time for live broadcast to start. Less than 5 minutes had passed. The number of viewers in the live broadcast room has approached 100,000. A large portion of these spectators came just to watch the fun. Another part is programmers who want to find a job. There are many of them, all of whom are re-employed talents who came out of Ali and Tencent and returned to the society. Last night, when they saw this post, I immediately became very interested. After all, as long as you get the job, you can get a salary of at least 20,000 yuan. This does not include regular performance and year-end bonuses. And if you achieve good results, you will have a chance to win a house in Binhai City. You know, a house in Binhai City is worth a lot of money. Even if we calculate it at 30,000 per square meter, an 80 square meter house would cost at least 2.4 million. If this is true, then by then, the competition will definitely be fierce. For programmers, function technology is like the flower and fruit mountain. If you go too late, you might not even get to eat peaches. Bing Bing, the reporter in charge of the live broadcast, saw the popularity of the live broadcast room soaring. His eyes almost popped out. From 100,000 viewers, it has soared. It wasn't until the population reached 1 million that it slowly stabilized. This crazy growth rate scared Bing Bing. Even if celebrities hold online concerts, the data wouldn't be so outrageous, right? This is too much. Bing Bing's mouth opened wide. She had completely forgotten that she was now live streaming. As the number of people in the live broadcast room soared, barrages began to fill the entire screen. Fuck, so many people. Brothers, are you all here to watch Bing Bing's live broadcast? Look at your sister. I've been unemployed for more than half a year, how can I have time to look at girls? That's right. If I don't find a job, I won't even have the energy to glue. I don't know if the treatment at Function Technology is as good as what is said on the internet. Yes, I heard that in this company, even the salary for cleaners starts at 20,000, and the minimum salary for programmers is 50,000. Wow, is this true? I'm a laid-off flight attendant. Can I apply for a cleaning job? Is it that bad? Even the flight attendants are trying to take over the cleaning staff's position. Stop talking. I've been working on my resume overnight and I'm just waiting to get the job. Fuck, it's all curled up. As the audience grows, various barrages of comments also flooded in. Bingbing held the microphone and led the live broadcast team. Under the leadership of Li Yao Yao, they came directly to Function Technology. As soon as I walked into the company, the girl at the front desk came to greet me with a puzzled expression. "Hello, who are you?" Li Yao Yao came out and said with a smile. "Hello, we are reporters from Spark Media. I came to your company today because there was a post yesterday about the salary issues in your company. It also became a hot search on Weibo and TikTok, attracting the attention of many netizens. So we want to interview the boss and employees of your company. I don't know. Is it convenient for you?" The girl at the front desk was stunned for a moment, although she was reluctant. But the other party is from Xinhua Media and is quite influential in Binhai City. She didn't dare to neglect it, so she had to nod and agree. "Okay. I'll ask our manager for you." But today, it seems that our CEO Lin didn't come to work. He went out with the product manager to purchase equipment. If you want to interview him, you'll probably have to come back another day. I'm afraid there's no hope today. However, I can talk to our manager, Mr. He, about this. Wait a moment. Li Yao Yao nodded. "Okay, thank you for your help." Although I couldn't meet the boss of Function Technology, it was also great to be able to interview the manager. As long as we can confirm whether what the post says is true, that's enough. After all, most of the audience came here for this. The other side. Mr. He, the account manager, learned that people from Spark Media had arrived. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. He immediately took out his cell phone and called Lin Feng. Tell him that there are reporters coming to the company for an interview. Ask Lin Feng whether he wants to be interviewed. Lin Feng did not resist and said there was no problem. As a technology company, as long as it can gain exposure and increase its popularity, it can obtain financing even if its products are terrible. After all, in this era, traffic is king. Now that traffic is coming to your door, how can you refuse it? However, Lin Feng still specifically explained that he could accept the interview. But you cannot disclose information about the product because it is company confidential. Before the function system is developed, we must keep it a secret and not let the outside world know about it. Otherwise, before the system is launched on the market, it will cause a lot of unnecessary controversy and slander from peers. After all, many people have already begun to kneel down in their hearts. I feel that no matter how domestic systems are developed, they can never compare to foreign systems. Instead of wasting time arguing with them here, it would be better to quietly research and develop, make the function system bigger and stronger, and then launch it into the market to amaze the world. Okay, Mr. Lin. I see what you mean. I won't leak any information about the product, you can rest assured. After finishing the call with Lin Feng, Mr. He left the office and came to the company's front desk. The people from Spark Media were already on full alert, setting up the equipment and waiting for Mr. He's arrival. Seeing Mr. He, Li Yao Yao hurried to greet him. "Mr. He, you are finally here. When can we start the interview?" Mr. He glanced at her and a look of surprise appeared on his face. I never thought that the boss of Spark Media would be so beautiful. And like Mr. Lin, he is also very young. Is it popular for young people to become bosses nowadays? Mr. He smiled and said, "Okay, let's get started now. Bingbing, get ready." Li Yao Yao said to Bingbing. After hearing the order, the reporter named Bingbing immediately came forward. As the lights came on, Bingbing handed over the microphone. "Hello Mr. He, it's an honor to interview you today. As a member of the management team of Function Technology, what do you think of the post that went viral online yesterday? Or in other words, is what the post says true? Is there any exaggeration? Many viewers in our live broadcast room want to know this. I hope you can answer this for them." Mr. He took the microphone, looked at the camera in front of him and smiled. "Hello, everyone. As a member of the management team of Function Technology, I can tell you responsibly. Everything that post online says is true. Although our company was established not long ago, Mr. Lin is eager to recruit talents and values them very much. If you want to join our company, you can directly send your resume to our company's email address. Our colleagues in the HR department will work overtime to review it. If you want to know more, I can take you to visit our office environment later." With the appearance of Mr. He, the number of viewers in the live broadcast room skyrocketed again. From less than 1 million just now, it soared directly to 1.5 million. A full 500,000 more viewers. Because of the exposure bonus skill. As long as it involves Lin Feng or his company, it will receive exposure bonus. Today's live broadcast rooms are comparable to celebrity online concerts. The gifts alone amounted to hundreds of thousands. Chapter 24. Meet the father-in-law and mother-in-law. Under the leadership of Mr. He, Li Yao Yao and her group arrived at the Fengshan Technology office area in a mighty procession. As they walked along, everyone couldn't help but be amazed. The office environment of Fengshan Technology exudes a luxurious atmosphere everywhere. Especially the rest area, which is beautifully decorated with high-end furnishings and a variety of entertainment facilities. It was simply astonishing. The audience in the live broadcast room also expressed their envy. Oh my god, is this really an office area? Look at the latest Sony PS5, Xbox, and 3D projector. Are you sure this is where we work? This is simply heaven. That sofa is bigger than my bed, and there are computer equipment. It costs at least 50,000 or 60,000 yuan to buy it. Stop talking, I'm going to quit my job and join the good side. I don't want a salary, I just want the boss to take me in. The guy upstairs is just envious of that game console, right? For a moment, barrages of comments flew by wildly. Netizens in the live broadcast room were all impressed by the office environment of Fengshan Technology. Expressed great shock. They have been working as office workers for so long, but have never seen such a comfortable environment. This is not just going to work, this is simply going to enjoy yourself. From this we can see that the content of yesterday's post was not false at all. And the actual environment is much better than what is described in the post. Many netizens expressed their desire to join Fengshan Technology. Some action-oriented people have already prepared their resumes and sent them to Fengshan Technology's email address. As of 6 o'clock in the afternoon, the HR department's mailbox was about to explode. A total of 20,000 resumes. Many of them are highly educated talents from the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Seeing this, Mr. He's mouth was about to burst with laughter, and he thought to himself, Boss Lin really found a treasure today. After the live broadcast ends, Li Yao Yao asked the employees to return to the company first, and she went to Su Group. She found Su Mushua's office and knocked on the door. After hearing Su Mushua's voice coming from inside, he pushed the door and walked in. As soon as she entered the office, Li Yao Yao sat down on the sofa and poured herself a glass of water. Then he started drinking it up. She finally stopped after drinking 4 glasses of water in one breath. Su Mushua looked at her with confusion and asked, Yao Yao, didn't you go to interview the boss of Fengshan Technology? The interview is over. Li Yao Yao burped and put the cup back in its place. Yeah, it just ended. Mushua, you don't know that my live broadcast lasted for 4 hours. Not only did we interview their manager, we also visited the company's office area, research area, and rest area. The environment of their company is so luxurious, even more comfortable than my villa. At first I thought that yesterday's post was a bit exaggerated and was just a soft advertisement. I didn't expect that after I went on a field trip, I realized that I was narrow-minded. There's no need to advertise their environment. Everyone who sees it can only say one word, awesome. Li Yao Yao said a lot of words in one breath. She took a breath and continued, I can't believe that there is such a company in Binhai. Moreover, the compensation they offer to their employees is also the highest in the industry. I now regret bringing my company's employees to this interview. When they go back, they will definitely say behind my back that I am Ju Par Pai. Compared with Fengshan Technology, isn't Spark Media a black-hearted capitalist? Hearing Li Yao Yao's self-deprecating words, Su Mushua covered her mouth and couldn't help laughing. Yao Yao, put it this way. Have you met the boss of their company? Li Yao Yao shrugged, no, he's on a business trip today. But no matter what, today's live broadcast was still very successful. A full 1.5 million viewers. It's almost as good as a celebrity online concert. And we received 500,000 in gifts alone. If I have the chance next time, I will definitely find their boss and do an exclusive interview. This kind of profitable business is hard to find nowadays. Li Yao Yao couldn't help but sigh. You know, they do a web show. It takes more than half a year from early planning to final release. The final profit might be around 1 or 2 million. But today, it only took 4 hours and I received 500,000 in rewards. This is simply a money grab. By the way, Mu Shui, isn't your husband Lin Feng's company also located in the Creative Park? Go talk to your husband later and ask him to help me keep an eye out for function technology. See what their boss looks like and see if you can get in touch with him. Li Yao Yao said this and stood up from the sofa. It's getting late now. I'll go back first. Su Mushua nodded, then looked at Li Yao Yao and said, Do you want me to take you there? No, just do your thing. Li Yao Yao finally took a sip of water and then picked up her bag. Left the office directly. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. Not long after Li Yao Yao left, Lin Feng sent a message. Honey, are you off work? I'll come find you later. Aren't you going to take me to meet my uncle and aunt tonight? Let's go buy some gifts before we go over there, while it's still light. Otherwise, I would be too rude if I came empty-handed. When Su Mushua saw Lin Feng's message, she immediately pouted. Hubby, we're married. Why do you still call them uncle and aunt? When we meet later, you have to call them mom and dad, okay? Lin Feng replied, Yes, my wife is right. 10 minutes later, Lin Feng arrived at Su Group. Su Mushua had been waiting in the car for a long time. After Lin Feng got in the car, Su Mushua stepped on the accelerator and drove towards the mall. It took them about half an hour to finally buy the gifts for Su Jungwo and Zhao Yalan. Then drive to Su Mansion. On the way, Lin Feng was still feeling very nervous. After all, it was the first time I met my father-in-law and mother-in-law, and they got married so quickly that I was a little nervous. Seeing Lin Feng like this, Su Mushua couldn't help but smile secretly. Hubby, don't worry, my parents are very easygoing. Besides, we both already got the marriage certificate. Even if they don't like you, can they still kick you out? When the time comes, you don't have to say anything, just throw the 20 million in my dad's face. Let him see the power of RMB. With such an expensive gift, he will definitely be shocked. It's interesting to think about it. Hearing this, Lin Feng was immediately amused. Fortunately, Su Jungwo was not here. If he had heard what Su Mushua said, I guess he must have been mad to death on the spot. This little cotton jacket is leaky. Why do you still have barbs? Just as Su Mushua and the others were rushing to the Su Mansion, Suanchi has returned home first. Su Mushua had already greeted her before going to the mall. She said that she was going to accompany Lin Feng to the mall to buy some gifts. Let Suanchi go home first, no need to wait for her. When Suanchi returned home, it was Zhao Yalan who came out to open the door. Angie, why are you alone? Where are Mu Shui and Lin Feng? Why didn't they come back with you? Suanchi replied, Mom, don't worry. Mu Shui and Lin Feng went to buy gifts, saying they were for you and Dad. Zhao Yalan quickly turned around and shouted at Su Jungwo. Hubby, take a look. You are such a filial daughter and son-in-law. Filial piety is a must. And wait, there are even more filial ones. Chapter 25, a great gift package for keeping fit and looking good. I heard Zhao Yalan's voice outside. A long-lost smile also appeared on Su Jungwo's face. I didn't expect my son-in-law to be so polite. You even knew to bring gifts. Su Jungwo sat in the house with a very satisfied expression on his face. Just then, Suanchi walked in and said with a smile. Yes, Dad. You really found a treasure. That Lin Feng is not only handsome, but also very kind to Mu Shui. The last time I ate with them, I almost died of jealousy. They ate several kilograms of dog food alone. Hearing this, Su Jungwo's smile became even more intense. Although Su Mushua married Lin Feng without consulting him, this incident made him a little angry. But I heard Suanchi say that Lin Feng was good to her daughter. Su Jungwo's impression of Lin Feng also began to change. Moreover, when he was in the company, he could also hear the employees talking about Lin Feng. Every evening, he would appear downstairs on time to pick Mu Shui up and take her home. This made the female employees very envious. They also hoped to find such a model husband. Good. This guy is really good. As long as his daughter is happy, what is there for father to complain about? Suanchi sat on the sofa, picked up the fruit and started eating, then said to Zhao Yalan and Su Jungwo. By the way, Mom and Dad, I heard what Mu Shui said. In addition to introducing Lin Feng to you tonight, he also wants to talk to you about the gift. When Su Jungwo heard this, his expression suddenly became a little ugly. Talk about the betrothal gift. Didn't we agree that 100,000 yuan would be enough for the betrothal gift? We had an agreement with Lin Feng's parents a few days ago. What else are we going to talk about? Does Lin Feng think that a betrothal gift of 100,000 yuan is too much? Suanqi shook her head and said, I don't know either. Mu Shui didn't tell me in detail. Let's wait for them to arrive and hear what Lin Feng has to say. Dad, don't be too angry. To be honest, there is a gap between the identities and backgrounds of Lin Feng and Su Muxue. Su Muxue comes from a wealthy family and is also the campus belle of Binhai University. And Lin Feng is just an ordinary person. Asking him to give a betrothal gift of 100,000 yuan is already the most kind thing we can do. After all, there are many fairies who look like dinosaurs and have not even graduated from elementary school. The bride price is often hundreds of thousands. Moreover, she is very picky about the men. If the men are ugly, they won't even have the chance to give a betrothal gift. Su Mushue's family only accepted a dowry of 100,000 yuan. And they also gave him a house and a car as a gift. No matter how you look at it, Lin Feng is making huge profit. What is there to talk about? Su Jingwo didn't understand. At this moment, Zhao Yalan, who had been silent, suddenly spoke. If you ask me, you all must have misunderstood Lin Feng. He probably thinks that the betrothal gift is too little and wants to give more. After hearing this, Su Jingwo's expression eased a little. If that's the case, then that's fine. Otherwise, this kid is too unkind. Although Su Jingwo had said before that no matter how much betrothal gift Lin Feng gave, he would return it tenfold. However, Su Jingwo had also inquired about Lin Feng's family conditions before. And when I talked to Lin Feng's parents on the phone, I also got a general understanding of it. Lin Feng's parents are both employees in Binhai County, and they receive a salary of several thousand yuan per month. It's the kind of family that is so ordinary that it couldn't be more ordinary. And now, Lin Feng has just graduated from college. No matter how capable he is, he can't afford much in terms of dowry. Su Jingwo guessed that he could only take out 200,000 yuan at most. 10 times 200,000 is 2 million. This amount of money is nothing to Su Jingwo. As long as Lin Feng is truly good to his daughter, he can afford it even if it doubles. Half an hour later, Su Muxue brought Lin Feng to the door of the villa. Honey, are you nervous? Su Muxue looked at Lin Feng with a worried look on her face. Lin Feng smiled and shook his head, not bad. On their way here, Lin Feng was indeed a little nervous. Although he has lived 2 lives, this is the first time he meets his father-in-law and mother-in-law. It's impossible to say I'm not nervous. So he could only pretend to be calm and act like he was not under any pressure. Hubby, don't be afraid. I'm here. Su Muxue grabbed Lin Feng's hand and spoke softly. Then she walked to the door and rang the doorbell. Ding dong. As the doorbell rang, inside the house, Zhao Yalan suddenly stood up and said, Could it be that Mu Shui and the others are here? Mom, please sit down first. I'll go open the door. Suanqi put down the fruit and ran straight to the door. After a while, she opened the door and saw Su Muxue and the other person, and said excitedly, You guys are here. Hearing the sound, Zhao Yalan also walked out of the living room. She looked at Lin Feng carefully. The young man in front of me is handsome and has an outstanding temperament. He looks quite good. Although she had seen Lin Feng's photo in Su Muxue's circle of friends before. But he looks even more handsome in person than in the photo. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. Especially his temperament and those deep eyes, which seemed full of charm. It makes people addicted and hard to extricate themselves. No wonder his daughter would take the initiative to propose to him. If I were 20 years younger, I probably wouldn't be able to control myself. After all, who doesn't he like handsome guys? Muxue, Xiaolin. You are here, come in. As soon as he entered the door, Lin Feng said, Dad, Mom, this is the gift I bought for you. I hope you don't dislike it. Zhao Yalan didn't hesitate and accepted the gift directly. After all, this is the first time the son-in-law has come to visit. If he didn't accept it, Lin Feng would lose face. And it will make you appear inhumane. Thank you, Xiaolin, you are so thoughtful. Come on, come in and sit down. Zhao Yalan hurriedly called Lin Feng and sat on the sofa. Then he looked at a few people again and said to Suanqi, Angie, go to the kitchen and help Mom. Is the food ready? Now that Xiaolin is here, we can almost have dinner. Suanchi nodded and ran to the kitchen to take a look. Then he ran out again, looked at Su Mushue and said, Mushue, come in and help me serve the rice. Let Lin Feng talk to his parents alone and don't disturb them. Su Mushue understood what her sister meant. He nodded and walked towards the kitchen reluctantly. Before leaving, she looked at Lin Feng reluctantly. Hubby, come on. I believe you can do it. After saying that, she followed Suanchi to the kitchen. At this time, in the living room, only Su Mushue's parents and Lin Feng were left. Without the presence of the Su Mushue sisters, the atmosphere in the living room instantly dropped to freezing point. Especially Lin Feng and Su Jungwo, the two looked at each other and said nothing. There seems to be a hint of embarrassment in the air. Just at this time, the voice of the system came. Bite. The second step to becoming a model husband is to show your sincerity and gain the approval of your father-in-law and mother-in-law. Reward, a gift pack for good health and beauty. Chapter 26 Huge Dowry. The second step to becoming a model husband. Gain approval from your parents-in-law? See the clear task prompt on the system panel. Lin Feng's mouth corners slightly raised, he thought to himself. Isn't he this easy? If you want to gain their approval, why not just spend money? Just like my wife said before, take out 20 million and give it away as a betrothal gift. This will definitely gain their approval, right? Lin Feng didn't feel any pain at all about the money. Not to mention completing the task, you can get rewards from the system. Moreover, once the betrothal gift is given out, Su Mushue's father will return it tenfold. No matter how you calculate it, Lin Feng will not suffer any loss. It can be said that the system's task is exactly the same as Su Mushue's idea. Lin Feng was a little resistant at first, thinking that this would be unfair to his father-in-law. But now, there's nothing I can do, this is God's will. Although Lin Feng didn't know what was inside this gift package for health and beauty. But judging from the name, it shouldn't be bad. I guess it's something like that for strengthening the body and beautifying the skin. Just right for me and my wife, one each. Lin Feng made a silent decision in his heart. He was just about to speak to Su Jungwo about the bride price. At this moment, Su Mushue and Su Anchi had already brought out the food. Mom and Dad, come and eat. If you have anything to say, let's talk after dinner. Zhao Yalan looked at Lin Feng. Xiao Lin, let's go, let's eat first. Lin Feng nodded, then stood up, looked at Su Jungwo and said, Dad, I bought a bottle of wine. How about we have a few drinks later? Su Jungwo doesn't have any special hobbies. But I only love drinking. Whether it's red, white, or even beer, he can drink it with gusto. Okay, I'm just worried that no one will drink with me at home. Come on, Xiaolin, sit down first. When he heard that they were going to drink, Su Jungwo immediately became interested. He hurriedly asked Lin Feng to sit down. Then, he said to Su Anchi, Anchi, go to the study and get my bottle of 1982 Lafite. Su Anchi's face suddenly changed when she heard this. Dad, that bottle of 1982 Lafite. Didn't you say that you would wait until Mushue got married before drinking? Su Jungwo waved his hand, it's okay, go get it. I'll buy more when I'm done drinking it. Just then, Su Mushue stood up and said. Sit down and eat, sis. I'll get it. After saying that, she ran to the study and found the bottle of 1982 Lafite. Take it out and put it in front of Su Jungwo. Then looked at Lin Feng. You should drink less. Drinking too much is bad for your health. Before Lin Feng could speak, Su Jungwo spoke. It's okay, daughter. Dad is in good health, it's okay to drink a little. Besides, this is Xiaolin's first time coming to our house, so we have to show some respect. After Su Jungwo finished speaking, the expression on his face was particularly proud. He thought that what Su Mushue said just now was directed at him. As a result, the next second, Su Mushue said something. He was directly brought to a social demise. Dad. What I just said was to Lin Feng. It has nothing to do with you. If you like drinking, drink as much as you want, it's okay. Hearing this, Su Jungwo's face suddenly turned red. I was completely stunned. What? It took a long time. So he was just being overly sentimental? Mushue doesn't care about herself at all, but cares about Lin Feng. Sitting opposite Lin Feng were Suanqi and Zhao Yalan, mother and daughter. I was drinking chicken soup at that time, and I almost spit it out when I heard the conversation between Su Jingwo and the other man. Especially Zhao Yalan. When she heard Su Mushue's words, she was indeed touched by her filial piety. As for Suanqi, she frowned and shook her head helplessly. My sister is too partial. At this time, Su Jingwo smiled awkwardly, coughed twice and said, Ahem. So that's how it is. It seems that Dad got it wrong. But it's okay, Xiaolin just graduated from college and is in good health. Just drink some wine, nothing will happen. As he spoke, Su Jingwo picked up the corkscrew and pulled out the cork. Poured a full glass of red wine for Lin Feng. Come on, Xiaolin. Let's have a drink first, both of us. Let me tell you, this bottle of 1982 Lafite is a rare and fine wine. If you don't have connections, you may not be able to buy it even if you have a lot of money. As he spoke, Su Jingwo also poured himself a glass and raised it up. Seeing Su Jingwo so enthusiastic, Lin Feng was a little flattered. It seems that my father-in-law is really addicted to alcohol. Lin Feng raised his glass tactfully and said, Dad, I toast to you. Good. Lin Feng raised his glass and drank it all. Su Jingwo was not to be outdone and drank it directly with his head tilted back. It's 1982 Lafite as expected, the taste is just different. By the way, Xiaolin, I heard that you have other ideas about the betrothal gift. Do you think 100,000 is too much, or? Su Jingwo put down his wine glass and changed the subject. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Lin Feng waved his hands quickly and explained. No, Dad, you misunderstood. I think a betrothal gift of 100,000 yuan is a bit too little. After all, Mu Shui is the second princess of the Su family. If I give such a small gift, I'm afraid people will laugh at me if the news gets out. So, I want to give you more money, and I can also prove to you how sincere I am to Mu Shui. Hearing this, Su Jingwo's face was full of smiles. It seems that my son-in-law. What a responsible man. To be honest, Su Jingwo doesn't need the 1.8 million at all. But Lin Feng can say that. That means, he really has Mu Shui in his heart. Har har har, you kid. Su Jingwo patted Lin Feng on the shoulder and said with a smile. Yes, you have this intention, that's enough. As for the betrothal gift, it is nothing more than a formality. Don't worry too much about it. It doesn't matter how much you give me. Wife, do you think what I said is right? Zhao Yalan glared at him and said in a cold voice. Right about what? Right? Xiao Lin said it was for the sake of the Su family's reputation. What are you talking about? If your son-in-law wants to give you more, just keep it. After being scolded by Zhao Yalan, Su Jingwo did not dare to get angry and could only nod repeatedly. Yes, yes, I'll do as you say. Xiao Lin, how much do you plan to give as a betrothal gift? Lin Feng took out a bank card, put it on the table, and pushed it in front of Su Jingwo. Dad, there is 20 million in this card. It's my gift to Mu Shui. I know 20 million is a little too little for you. But this is also my intention. I hope you don't mind. Oh shit. 20 million in betrothal gifts. And you still hope that we won't despise you. Hearing this, Su Jingwo was completely stunned. Aren't Lin Feng's family conditions very ordinary? How could he have so much money? And if there is really 20 million in this card, doesn't that mean he has to return 200 million to Lin Feng? There will be another one later. Please vote tilde. Chapter 27. Is the company going to be exposed? Xiao Lin, you are not kidding, right? Do you really want to give 20 million as a betrothal gift? At this time, Zhao Yalan could no longer sit still and asked with a shocked expression. A few days ago, she just spoke to Lin Feng's parents on the phone. As far as she knew, Lin Feng's family conditions seemed very ordinary. If that is the case, where did he get so much money? When he saw Zhao Yalan and Su Jingwo, he looked incredulous. Suanqi stood up, ran to the utility room, and took out a POS machine. It just so happens that we have a POS machine at home. You can tell if you have that much money by swiping your finger. Suanqi picked up the bank card on the table and swiped it on the POS machine. Find the number shown above. It's indeed 20 million. Seeing this scene, Suanqi was also shocked. I didn't expect that my brother-in-law is so rich. Could it be? Has he been playing the pig and eating the tiger before? However, there are three people, Su Jungwo, Suanchi, and Zhao Yalan. What they don't know is, this huge sum of 20 million was actually given by Su Mushue. Even Lin Feng was kept in the dark by her at this time. If Su Jungwo knew that his daughter treated him like this, I guess he would be killed by her on the spot. Good guy. I've never cheated my father as much as you do. The daughter of the family pays money as a betrothal gift to the son-in-law. Then let the son-in-law ask his biological father to return 10 times the amount. Are you playing landlord here? Super double, for 3, can't you afford it? He is so filial to his father. At this time, Su Jungwo couldn't help but ask. Xiaolin, where did you get this money? If I remember correctly, you should have just graduated from college. And your parents also said that your family's conditions are relatively average. Seeing this, Zhao Yalan and Suanchi pricked up their ears. They also wanted to know where Lin Feng got the money from. Lin Feng did not hide anything and told them Su Mushue's words. After hearing this, the expressions of the three people suddenly became extremely interesting. Especially Suanchi and Zhao Yalan, they were completely dumbfounded. Are you kidding them? Mushue, is this true or false? Did you really win the lottery? Faced with the questioning, the expression on Su Mushue's face became a little nervous. Oh this? Yeah, just like my husband said, we won the lottery. Although it's a little hard to believe. But Mushue has never been able to lie since she was young. Zhao Yalan had to believe it. No wonder, I said,